Poof. Hello everybody and welcome back to, I almost said Skyrim and then I almost said Cyberpunk and now I am saying Starfield. We're doing a brand new Game Plus. I am all the way up to New Game Plus 4 at this point. I don't have my key lights on. That looks a little better, I think. See my ugly mug a little better. Yeah, New Game Plus 4. I think I just wanted to kind of show off what a New Game Plus, like the beginning of a New Game Plus run looks like. So you don't actually get started in the lodge here. You get spawned into your guardianship, which you get an upgrade to every time you do a New Game Plus, all the way up to 7, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. I might be mistaken. This game's still new to me after 160 hours. Skyrim punk indeed. And then you also get an upgraded Starborn set of armor as well. And both the ship and the armor do really well to get you through the first part, at least, of a New Game Plus run. The issues with them is that you can't upgrade them at a bench, the armor anyway, and you can't upgrade the ship at ship services either. But especially in case of the case of the ship, that might be the best equipment that you get your hands on for the entire playthrough. So, is that new Skyfield game? Skyrim? Yes. Yeah. So you get spawned in the ship with a new set of armor, and then you are told to, through the questing mechanism, you're told to go to the lodge and check in there. And that's where I am now. Nothing crazy happened this time around, but when you step through the doors of the lodge for the first time to meet Constellation, sometimes funky stuff happens. Like in one of them, Sarah is just a plant. She's just a house plant. What the hell? Or you go in there and all the members of Constellation are just children, right? Or you go in there and the hunter has already killed them all, and now he wants to kill you. But New Game Plus 4, I haven't gotten anything like crazy like that yet. This is just a standard start. I keep hoping for something wild to happen, and it will. It just hasn't yet. So when you step through the Unity, there's a random roll to see what kind of start that you get, and I think it favors just a regular old, vanilla roll, vanilla start. But there are console commands that you can put in there to choose which weird start you want when you enter the lodge on your next go through. I'm not doing that. I kind of want the surprise and everything. But there's I think there's 10 different random crazy starts that you can get. And when I get like one of those crazy ones, that's when I'll say, okay, don't skip, because it does give you the option to skip the main quest and then just go after the artifacts. You can go upgrade your Starborn powers, and keep going. Enemies do get harder in New Game Plus. Enemies take 50% at New Game Plus 10 anyway. Enemies will take 50% less damage and output 200 or 100% more damage. So then that stacks with difficulty levels too. So that's 2 times. 100% is 2 times. So if you're already doing very hard, which is enemies doing 2 times the damage, now at New Game Plus 10 they're doing 4 times the amount of damage, and the damage that you're taking in is, or the damage that they are taking is half of what they would even at New Game Plus, or even at very hard. It's really hard to keep track of all this, but if you think the game is too easy, do New Game Plus. Around New Game Plus 6 or 7, you're gonna find yourself in a world of hurt and happy, probably. Okay. Let's see. The armor is cool, but I kind of want little stars to be visible on the black parts. That's kind of awesome. Yeah, the armor does change its looks every time, all the way through New Game Plus 10 as well. Last one was the Locust armor. It had like a cloak over it, kind of like a toga almost. The Emissary kind of wears something similar to that, and the Hunter does too, except it's black. All right, so when you first come into the lodge here, Oh, you know what? I wanted to show it off from the very beginning. This is my exit save. So let's see. Blam, this one. So you're gonna land on New Atlantis following the quest marker to get back to the lodge. New Atlantis is the only place that has any more than a few seconds of loading in my game, for whatever reason. It'll still be easy. Well, it depends on your build, right? Of course, if you have a stealth build, everything's going to be easy all the time. Melee builds where you have to get up close and personal is going to be a little tougher. Yeah, so this is all just the same.
Excuse me, this is a private... Wait.
Except she recognizes you a little bit.
Familiar about you. Vasco, identify.
Scanning. Cross-referencing known employee
Cutter wrecks all. It does. Well, especially Terramorphs. Cutter is interesting because it will destroy Terramorphs, which are supposed to be the hardest in the game, but they're going to struggle a little more against regular enemies, especially Starborn, people who have more energy resistance. Terramorphs have 0 energy resistance whatsoever, so the Cutter's going to feel stronger against them. If you're fighting against like a level 80 Starborn or something like that, they're not gonna wreck through quite as much, especially on the new game plus 10s where your damage output is extremely nerfed. Let's see. We're not repeating the main quest. There's nothing crazy going on here.
I see.
So you have the choice between playing it cool and saying, no, I'm not a Starborn, I'm just a regular dude here, let's do the whole main quest again. And then you get to reform those relationships, you get to do the romancing all over again, you get to earn favor, you get to go through the whole story again.
We have everything.
To me, that's not really what New Game Plus is about.
All right.
It's about seeing how the universes differ, and then you know, going and getting your Starborn abilities maxed out, making the game more and more difficult each time. Went through a few in testing and it's holding fast. Nice. Including Starborn, huh? All right. Well, that's your build though, right? If you could pick builds that are going to make this easy. You can pick builds in Diablo 4 that make world tier 4 hardcore difficulty easy. Same with anything like Cyberpunk. I wouldn't put it all on Bethesda.
Is there something
that's kind of what Buildcraft is all about, is making the game easy. Yeah, so now you can come clean and say I'm Starborn. You can give them the whole story, and that basically skips the whole main quest.
Pieces to an army.
Then you'll just get a big list of artifacts that you can go.
Multiverse.
Wasn't expecting it to be this OP. Yeah, that's crazy. That's kind of awesome though.
Joke I've ever witnessed. I think we're past the point of doubting, Walter.
In any event, we'll be able to see for ourselves.
So you get a whole lot of new dialogue in New Game Plus. It's worth seeing. To me, New Game Plus is part of the story. If you're not doing New Game Plus and seeing the different stuff, seeing or witnessing the new dialogue firsthand, you're not really seeing the whole game. That's my opinion. Everybody plays the game differently, but that's my take on it. You can gather up the artifacts easily. No, they make me go gather the artifacts either way.
Is to be believed. We'll need all the help we can get. I want you to check with Vladimir on the Eye. Cross-reference what you've told us with what he's picking up on the scans. You track down the artifacts the Eye finds, while we gather the others. If anyone in the settled systems could believe something like this, it's Constellation. Now let's get out there and see the truth for ourselves.
Nice.
It is customary to say, welcome home. That is not dimensionally accurate.
So in terms of leveling, this build is pretty much done. I just need to level up particle weapons for my ship. And in order to do that, it's not having the skill points at that point. It's just being able to have a ship with particle beam weapons and just cutting through some things. So as far as magazines, every time you do a New Game Plus, the bonuses for the magazines stack up to 10.
Hello, Starborn. I will assist in any way I can.
So once you've gotten 10 of that magazine, or the bonuses applied by that magazine, then you stop accruing bonuses for them. But yeah, New Game Plus magazines count. So the game gets harder and harder and harder, all the way up to New Game Plus 10. It's not exactly linear, but it gets harder in the first New Game Plus 3 or 4, and then it starts to plateau off a little bit for the rest of them. But they still do get harder and harder, just not in a linear way. Okay, so the next thing I usually do, okay, they also give you, when you join Constellation, you get through all that stuff, they do give you random weapons. So I got a specialized advanced solstice, which is not bad because I do have laser specialization. But I'm also using rifles, so I'm probably going to sell this thing off, probably for a pretty penny here, to get like an Orion or something if I don't find one here in the lodge. So I will usually come down here. We have a refined Equinox, which is not bad to start, but I really want an advanced because I am playing on very hard. The 3 kilovolt ammo is awesome. And we got a mag shear, an advanced one. That's awesome, but again, we haven't touched physical specialty at all in our build. Oh, let me share my build with you here too. Really? You gotta be kidding me. It just won't give up the screen. All right, let me try this out then. I haven't had to do that before. That was interesting. I am going to plop the link to this in my chat here. Ben Fico, welcome. Ben Fico. So you can actually pull this up on your own browser if you're on your PC or even on your smartphone or whatever. And then you can kind of fiddle with it a little bit. The only thing that I'm missing now in this build, this is a level 50 build, by the way. This will get you through the first few New Game Pluses, maybe 1 or 2. Usually by the end of just the first game run, if you've taken your time, you've done a lot of different side quests, you're probably going to land around 44, 46, somewhere around there. Level 50 used to be like a soft cap for like Skyrim or whatever. In Starfield, that's not the case anymore, in my opinion. If you're doing build guides and... Oh my goodness. Breakfast coming back up on me. Sorry about that. What was I talking about? Oh yeah. So if you're doing New Game Plus and everything, 50 is not the soft cap anymore. If you're doing character build guides and stuff for YouTube, you got to draw the line somewhere, right? You can't just keep going and going and going like you can with New Game Plus. I'm thinking by the time you get to New Game Plus 10, you're probably going to be in the 70s or 80s, thereabout. Oh, really? Here, let me do a refresh on this. All right, let's try this. Thank you for saying that didn't work. Give that one a shot. Yeah, that one works for me. That's a bummer if it doesn't work, but at least I can display it. It does go on forever, but it stops changing around New Game Plus 10. Or at New Game Plus 10, that's when you're not going to get any more upgrades to your Starborn armor. That's when you the game is not going to get any harder. At New Game Plus 10, that's where the difficulty levels up. That is the hardest difficulty. Is very hard at New Game Plus 10. Try linking the main site. Well, I mean, the main site isn't going to give you my build. This will just be the yeah, that's your Starfield skill planner. This is kind of the de facto one that everybody's landed on. There might be more out there, but this one works really well. Clicking. Oh, geez, look at that. It's maybe the links are broken. That's weird. So if I just do a copy and paste, it works fine. If I click in the YouTube chat link, it doesn't. Let me try right click, copy link address. Oh yeah, that's nuts. Yeah, that's terrible. I think maybe YouTube chat is doing something funky in there. How about I put the link to the build in the description of the stream. The description of the stream. Oh, it's already there. Might not be working still, but okay. It's in the description now of the stream. Try that. Let me know how it works. Otherwise, we'll just have to make do. Try copy and paste here. One more time. Yeah, that is strange. I don't know what's going on. Anywho, let's just do a run through of the build that I got going right here. This is level 50. So let's start with stuff that actually matters. So the combat skills, if you start as a Cyberneticist, you start with 1 rank in lasers. So I just went with that. I found that the pistol lasers are really underwhelming. The Solstice is... You can find some good legendaries and stuff like that, but where the real juice lies is with the rifle certification or with the cutter. Like the actual build links never worked. Just used them for what they were, allocating abilities for myself. Okay, well that's interesting. I didn't know that was broken. I've actually gotten them to work a few times, but I've noticed that they've been broken here and there too. Yes, so if you're doing laser specialization, unless you have like a Han Solo build or something that you really want to lean into laser pistols, I would say go rifle for diversity. There's some really good rifles that you can use that have energy damage to them. The Orion's great. The Equinox, once you unlock the auto fire for it with really fast fire rate, can be good, even though it chews through ammo like crazy. But then you also get like the Big Bang, which is really cool. It's like a laser shotgun that I like a lot. Or you can go with the cutter. If you're doing that, then you want to go get the big weapons. What is it? There's a large weapons. Oh yeah, heavy weapons certification. This guy right here, heavy and lasers. But the Cyberneticist starts with lasers, so that's what I leaned into. I found it more fun because you find you're able to upgrade the rifles. The Cyberneticist is also a crafting build, so you're going to be able to craft up your rifles a lot more than you're going to be able to craft up your cutter. The cutter you can't upgrade at all, so it's kind of you're not really using your crafting build at that point. Let's see. And if the Cyberneticist is also like weak and frail, minus his armor that he's able to upgrade, so he doesn't want to be up close. He wants to be away or up in the air for most of it. So those are the only 2 skills that I maxed out in combat. The next one is science here. It gives you a point in medicine already. This is an awesome skill. This will keep you alive, even with no armor. Medicine and pharmaceuticals are great. It's kind of like alchemy in Skyrim or chems in Fallout 4. You're going to get huge boosts, often like more boosts to your skills than you can get through perks. And then when you combine that with the perks, obviously you're going to end up with something very overpowered, very useful for New Game Plus 10 on very hard. The magazines also stack, yep. Super key to any actual build, right, yeah. Yeah, so the magazines, they help, especially for specialty builds like the cutter. but they do stack up to 10. So at 5% per pop, yeah, you can get stuff up to 50%, and now you're talking about like 2-3 ranks and perks. But that's really more helpful for other builds, and it can take a while to get those magazines. So yes, it can be a super integral part to a build, but it does take a while to get there, and it's not immediately apparent. And there's a lot of random encounters that have magazines, so you can't always count on being able to get them in the same place all the time. There are some statically placed magazines that you can find all the time, and that may actually be like consistently useful for your build. So that is a great point. Yeah, medicine is awesome. And then also in science we have spacesuit design and weapon engineering. This takes care of all the crafting. But you also want at least one rank in special projects. This will make some of the more powerful mods available at your workbenches for both weapon engineering and spacesuit design, both at your weapons workbench and your armor workbench. Now, for the level 50 build, I didn't put anything into research, although I did use it while I was leveling up. Research methods, once you research it and you find all the materials that you need to do your research projects for the things that you're going to craft, you're not going to need it again at all. So very quickly, these become wasted skill points. I wouldn't use them again. Also, one thing worth mentioning is that if you max out your special projects skill here, you can create very, very rare components at your industrial workbench. And a lot of these rare components you need to build the best mods for both weapon engineering and spacesuit design. If you don't have this, you're going to be looking forever and ever for these components, and you're not going to be able to find them. They're super rare. They don't show up a lot. You will eventually be able to find them at vendors and stuff like that, but you're going to be waiting for a very, very long time if that's how you're doing it. So this is worth it. But in order to get most other things to get yourself going, this is more of an end game build thing. This is more of a get you through the mid game, get you going type thing with your equipment. So yeah. You really only need one in special projects. You don't need anything in research methods that'll help get you off the ground, but it's not going to help you at all in the end game. Those are the three I took there. For tech, this is where I put most of my skill points. And a lot of it has to do with boost pack. The Cyberneticist is the tech guy. He's the one who's becoming more machine than human, right? So I really leaned into the boost pack part of that. Boost pack training doubles previous bonuses. Basically, this will keep you in the air more, especially once you start getting upgraded packs like the balanced pack or the power pack. The basic pack is kind of trash. It's not going to help you out that much. It will help a little bit, but you really want like a balanced pack for everything. Boost assault training. This one's awesome. This will actually start adding effects to your boost, like in combat. This allows you to like hover, as long as you have boost in the tank. You can hover up above the battlefield, and it will actually slow time for you too. This also has skills so that it can knock enemies down that are close when you do a boost, and also set them on fire, which is completely awesome. Yeah, the randoms, they're fun, right? So that's part of the fun of this game, is the random encounters and like, ooh, I found something awesome. Same with the legendary gear. But it can also make it a pain to do build guides, which is I'm still trying to come to terms with how I'm going to do these build guides. I think the best way to do it is just cap it at level 50, tell you what to focus on once you're beyond level 50, and then what to look for as far as like legendary gear and things like that. Let's see. You did start with one in security, but in my opinion, container loot is so nerfed even at higher levels. It does help to be at higher level areas, but it's hard to find higher area levels that have like human outposts where you can actually find containers with weapons and gear and stuff in them. So I just left it at 1. Actually, in my game, I took all of them because I didn't know at that point. But if I had to do it over again, I would not take any more than one in security there. This will get you up to advanced locks, some auto attempts. You're going to find much better gear on high-level enemies than you are in high-level containers. At least that's been my experience. So security, not really worth taking until Bethesda, if they patch the loot tables. We'll see. I hope they do. I want to see a lot more legendary gear, maybe at lower levels, and even at higher levels. I would like to see a lot more. So the other thing I took here was targeting control systems. So in this game, it's going to force you into ship combat, especially if you're playing at higher difficulty levels. It's going to be very difficult. As easy as this game can be with gun in hand, if you're in the ship, it's going to be extremely hard, especially when you get to a certain level. So you have to put some skill points into your ship battles. Especially for New Game Plus, there's this gatekeeping sequence. That's the hardest part in any New Game Plus run, and that's when you either have to fight the emissary or the hunter to get to the buried temple. You have to fight against that scorpion or that helix and 2 allies. And it's tough. So I also put 4 into shield systems to keep you alive. So at least, you're not going to die 2 seconds out of or literally 1 second out of a load screen. I have been put in death loops many times in that fight. Had to reload a previous save because I was getting destroyed 2 seconds out of the gate. So shield systems, extremely important. Targeting control systems will actually enable you to take either ballistic weapons, energy weapons. The ballistic energy and particle beam weapon systems, they all stipulate that you need to be in target mode in order to get these bonuses. So you have to take at least one. You're only going to get these bonuses in target mode. So you have to have 1 star here in order to get any of these bonuses. I went with particle beam weapons because they do equal damage against hull and shields, and I put them on both of my weapon slots on my ship whenever I do a ship. So all I have to do is hold down both of the fire buttons, and then you get in 4 particle beams that just shreds enemies. And really, in ship combat, the best defense is a good offense, because there really aren't any defensive options except for, your shield, having a high hull rating, and then just being able to boost out of target locks. But you run out of boost quickly, you run out of shield quickly, and then once your shield's gone, you're going to get shredded at higher difficulty levels. So you need this stuff. And then finally, I went with social because I kind of modeled this part after Cyberpunk and the optical implants that you have and the quick hacks. You can hack enemies' cyberware from a distance, and that's kind of the route that I went as far as role playing with the social stuff here. So I went with scavenging, all 4 here, because you need 4 ranks in something to get down into the lower tiers, and none of this other stuff made sense for a cyberneticist like a cyborg. So this one will give you extra ammo, it'll give you extra med packs, things like that you find in containers. It's useful. It's not super useful because that stuff is cheap and widely available at vendors anyway. But that was the only thing that I found really useful for this playstyle. And then I went with all 4 in diplomacy, which is actually your calm spell from Skyrim. It's great. And then instigation, which is your fury spell. I only took 2 ranks in this, and that's good enough for up to 10 levels higher than you. Rarely, even on New Game Plus 10, in my experience anywhere, you're going to find anybody that much higher level than you. Maybe at New Game Plus 10 and the very hardest systems, if you can find an actual outpost with high level enemies in it, that could be useful. But again, plus level 50, this can be useful, pumping more skill points into that. So that's the build. There you go. Stream over. See you guys later. No, I'm kidding. I don't know why it wouldn't let me switch screens. It has in the past. For now, Starfield seems to be really jealous of anything else that's getting screen time. Get my OBS screen back up. 0 dropped frames. Very nice. Very good. All right, let's get to some gameplay here. Cyber Runner Cypher for that 15% laser damage crit. Ooh, nice. That is a good one. Okay. Yeah, and there's so much to explore in this game. I haven't gotten around to hunting down static placements for all those magazines, but I'm sure that there are some very useful ones, and I will make it a point to research that at some point. For me right now, it's all about slamming New Game Plus and seeing what the new content is. Okay, do I actually like any of the gear that it gave me here randomly? I like the mag shear, does not fit my build. Refined Equinox does fit the build, but it's refined. I need something advanced. And then the specialized advanced Solstice is great, but it's not a rifle, right? So, thanks, but no thanks. So I'm gonna go sell this stuff off, see if I can get myself an Orion or a Big Bang, and some ammo for it. Did they give me any money as well? I think they did. Yeah, 20,000. That's quite a bit. Oh yeah, and then every time you start a New Game Plus, you do get a specific piece of Starborn armor for that New Game rank. For New Game Plus 4, it was the Tenebrous one. This one's cool. It's all like shiny and everything. It actually looks really cool. I like this one. It's all reflective, shiny. But then it does give you random legendary effects there. This one is, it's only 3 because it's all one piece. You don't get a separate jetpack and helmet like you do with all other armor in this game. So you're limited to 3 legendary effects instead of 9. But bolstering's great. The physical and energy resistance at the lower health, that's going to keep us alive at lower difficulty or higher difficulty levels and higher New Game Plus levels. That's definitely very welcome. Acrobat is completely useless. If you can just, hit the jump button right before you land, you're gonna boost and then soften the landing. So I don't even know why they put that in this game, but there it is. And then Sentinel, which is not bad, especially for a character that's not very mobile. If I don't have boost pack charge, I tend to kind of sit still and just blast enemies in the head. But if you're a more stationary type player, that can help reduce your damage. Not super useful for me, but I'll take the bolstering. That's kind of worth price of admission right there. Yes, you do. Every New Game Plus, you lose everything in your inventory. Start over anew. You get to keep your powers, you get to keep your skills and your levels. You do not get to keep your ships, you do not get to keep your outposts, you don't get to keep your armor, and you don't get to keep your weapons. Digipicks, med packs, all that stuff goes away. So, let's get back to, we'll do Jemison Mercantile first. We'll sell off all this stuff except for maybe the 3kV ammo. What is nice about the Starborn armor, though, is they all give you balanced boost packs. So I basically get to fly around New Atlantis, a new game. You don't keep your custom ships that you put in storage or anything like that? No, you don't. Which is... I think I've said it before in another stream, maybe not. Or maybe it was one of Magus's streams. If you're gonna do New Game Plus runs, do not waste your time on ship building or outpost building. You're gonna pour a ton of resources into that stuff.
Thanks for stopping in.
And you're gonna lose it.
I can take care of transactions.
Wait until you've gotten to a point where you're not gonna do New Game Plus runs anymore. You're in the universe that you're gonna live at.
Take a look.
And then you can start pouring resources in. That's when it'll be permanent. Okay. That being said, I think I'm going to start throwing myself into shipbuilding a little bit, even though I can't keep the ships. For 2 reasons. One, because the Starborn ships are not particle beam weapons, so they're not going to work to rank up your particle beam skills that was part of this build. But also, what else? Oh yeah, I just want to do it because it's fun. I'm kind of running out of new things to do so far until New Game Plus gives me something super wacky. So credits are easy come, easy go in this game. What sucks is losing the hard work of building that ship, but you do get the practice, you do get the knowledge, and you do get to keep your skills. So if you start taking things like the starship engineering skills, those do carry over, so you do get the more advanced parts that you get to use, and the piloting skills, so you get to use higher class ships earlier. That's the other thing about the Starborn ship, is it's basically the best class A ship that you're going to get. I tried upgrading a class A ship as much as possible to do as much damage as possible, having the best shields possible without any kind of skill investment into like the starship building perks. It does not hold a candle whatsoever. That's when I started getting killed within 1 second of the load screen with that last encounter. All right, what do you have for sale? Not much. Look at this: ace sidearm and a cutter. No, thank you. I'm gonna save that stuff. Yeah, not much. I will take your... Actually, before I start stocking up on ammo and digipicks and medpacks and everything, I'm gonna go see if I can find a good weapon. And I'm sure I can find one down in the UC surplus down here in the well. So this is kind of the crafting loop that I use if I'm doing a crafting run. I always come to New... I want to say New Vegas. New Atlantis. I always start with Jemison Mercantile. Then there's an elevator right around the corner that takes you down into the well. You get 3 more or 4 more if you want to count the hospital down here. 4 more vendors down here that you can either sell stuff off at. There's a couple that will give you resources.
I got contacts all over. Stock, man, take your time.
So right now I'm looking for a weapon that's, unless I find an awesome legendary, will probably get me through the whole rest of the New Game Plus run. So right off the bat here we have an advanced Big Bang, which is amazing. So this is a particle beam weapon. It's not a laser weapon, but with gun in hand, boots on the ground, the laser specialization, the laser certification perks all work against the energy portion of the particle beam weapons. So like your Varun weapons and stuff like that, you're going to get a huge boost to your energy output, and you're just going to get base ballistics output, which is still great because you're still doing ballistics damage on top of your enormous energy damage. So this is great. This is probably the one I'm going to use. I might pick up an Orion too for range stuff. But definitely want the Big Bang. The problem is that was really, really expensive. Yikes. Okay, but that's okay. We'll be fine. We can upgrade that thing without too much. I'm actually not even seeing an Orion here anyway. An Explorer's Advanced Orion. I could have taken the Orion, but you can see already it's doing half the amount of energy damage, and you're not even getting the ballistic damage on top of it. Kind of a no-brainer to me. You can actually also modify the Big Bang to do better at range too, so maybe that's what I'll do. Just kind of forgo Orion until I feel like I need it. Okay, let's get some ammo for this bad boy too. I need heavy particle fuses. That's gonna... Wow, that's amazing. That's gonna leave us with 10 credits to our name. All right, that's fine. That means I don't really have the credits to upgrade this thing at all, but still, I don't think I really need to at this point. Actually, I like to put this here, put the cutter on 1 just in case. Run out of ammo. 101 rounds doing that kind of damage though should be plenty of ammo for now. Did I sell off all the other ammo that I had? I'm going to keep the 3 kilovolt stuff just in case. Okay, so 10 credits. I'm not going to be able to buy much in the way of resources, but I can head back to the lodge anyway, and just drop off the resources that I do have. this will at least get us through one or two of the artifacts, and then we'll start gathering credits pretty quickly at that point. How am I doing on med packs? I don't think I have any med packs. Oh, I do have 5 med packs. Excellent. That was the only 8 item I had. That should be all I need. Okay. Fingers crossed. Now, at this point, if you're running low on credits, you can just do some of the, like, Radiant quests around here. Not the Radiant quests, but, like, the little dinky side quests. Like, you could do the tree thing for the scientists. You can do the brownouts in the well. You can go to the viewport and unlock the... you can go get the shipment out of quarantine. And that'll all give you, that'll all stack up some good credits there, but if you've been through it a few times, it can be a little boring. Okay, here we go. You don't keep your custom ships that you put in stuff. Okay, they need to make a new power, summon interdimensional loot chest. Yeah, kind of like the Anirim stuff in that mod, and a little bit like the Dremora Butler, or the one that you can summon from Oblivion to the Black Book power to sell your stuff off.
I will assist in any
Loving the
way
newest
I
shiny
can.
armor. Yeah, me too. I get like, I've liked all of the Starborn armor in each of the new game pluses. The only problem is you can't upgrade it with your crafting skills, but at least for the first half, 3/4 of the game, it's right up there with anything you can craft up to, well, new game plus 4 so far. It won't hold up to the very tip-top armor items that you can get, as far as like the superior ones with legendary skills on them. This one's not bad. It is at 181 resistances all the way across the board, and then the standard 50 for all the different exposure effects that you're going to face. It's really good. It's going to get me through probably the entire new game plus run. But the very highest levels of armor will give you somewhere around 440, I want to say, resistances, after that's upgraded and everything, giving you somewhere around like an 85% damage reduction. The Starborn, or the Cyberneticist, is supposed to be a little weak, the way that I designed him anyway. And that is why I have the reactive shield. And this is like the reactive shield 3 at this point, I want to say. Oops. Reactive shield 3. And if I cast that, that boosts my resistances all the way up to 481. So that's a huge boost. And yeah, that'll give me all the protection that I need. So I don't really even need to get other armor in this game. The only reason you'd want to do that is for the added legendary effects. You only get 3 total on the whole set for the Starborn stuff. And those can make a big difference. But those are all random, so you can't really count on any of those legendary effects being anywhere. All right, what are we doing now? Let's go talk to Vlad, huh? Should be able to find some med packs around the eye here too. So I also mentioned the Mantis run in my Discord notifications. And the Mantis is good because you unlock that quest line very early on, usually within your first 2 or 3 encounters with spacers, which will happen very quickly if you're chasing artifacts for the main part of New Game Plus. And that will give you access to random leveled gear in terms of your armor. Once you upgrade the Mantis gear at most New Game Plus levels, it's going to outrank your Starborn gear by a little bit, not by much in terms of total resistances and everything, but you also get an extra 6 legendary effects because you get 3 for the helmet, 3 for the suit, and 3 for the pack when you just get 3 overall for the Starborn stuff. In my opinion, the Mantis set looks a little goofy. I like the Starborn stuff better, personally. That's just a matter of preference.
That was some meeting to listen in on.
I think it just looks better.
Are you? Anyone who doesn't charge into a room swinging.
But it is more powerful. And then you also get access to the Razor Leaf, which is a really nice Class A ship that you can get very early on in the game.
I've got good news and bad.
So I might do a Mantis run at some point in the stream, if the stream goes on long enough and we get there soon enough.
The places you said they'd be.
It's also a really fun quest. It's very enemy dense.
Here's the data. Managed to find a planet that might have one of those temples you talked about as well. Can probably find more temples if I have enough time to cross-reference. Come back when you've given the first one the thorough comb.
It's also very much worthwhile doing the finding the powers. You do rank up the powers that you already have and find ones that you don't from previous playthroughs. Actually, let's go ahead and unlock those now. The problem is chasing these things down can be a little dry. There is a Starborn enemy at each one of them. Well, not every single one of them, but for the vast majority of them, there's one that's kind of like guarding the place.
Just to point you right to it.
They do give you the quantum essence, which I don't think that you carry over. No, you do not. That's part of your inventory, I guess. So the quantum essence just makes it so you recover your star juice a lot more quickly, so you can do rapid fire Starborn abilities. The eye is worth taking a run through. There is a magazine in Vladimir's weight room, but there are also like first aid kits and stuff around. And once I've been through New Game Plus a couple more times, I'll be able to remember exactly where all these first aid kits are and where the random things are that are worth picking up. There are sometimes like ammo and things, ammo and aid items in lockers, so you'll see me look in those quite a bit. Here's the weight room, and here's the magazine here. It's not going to help the Cyberneticist at all, but basic and advanced physical skills are permanently unlocked 2% faster. This seems different than what I've seen before. I wonder if the effects for the magazines change. Because I thought that this was like a... when I saw it before, it was like a melee skill bonus. Maybe I could be wrong. Maybe I'm just misremembering it. A lot to learn in this game, so it doesn't stick in the brain when you're trying to learn a lot of new things at once. The more limited the scope of something that you're trying to learn, the better you're going to learn it. And branching out incrementally from there, but... yeah, drinking from a fire hydrant's not the best. Oh yeah, lots of ammo here. Yes. Heavy particle fuses, that's what we want. Please and thank you. Amp is good. That'll boost our damage output. Don't like that Starfield's version of Batman is wearing this dumb white lab coat over her suit. Yeah. Yeah, well, to me, it's like the head is just so big and goofy looking, right? If they could streamline... yeah, the lab coat does look kind of silly. That's not my favorite, for sure. But that big old goofy helmet, or if they could make the armor bulkier so that the head didn't look so big in comparison. Looks like an orange on a toothpick. Like Sputnik. Round and spherical, but quite pointy at some parts. Anybody who gets that reference was probably a product of the 90s. That movie was terrible, but that part was absolutely hilarious. There's a ripping into the size of that poor kid's head. The reactive gauge I'm going to need eventually for upgrading the weapons. Did you go with the good guys, Starborn, or the hunters? The good guys. I went with the good guys. I might switch. It doesn't seem to change much if you keep going with the emissary over and over again over the hunter. At least not for New Game Plus so far. I was wondering if maybe if you kept, you know, siding with the emissary over and over again, things might change, but it doesn't. At least not in New Game Plus 4. So I might just side with the hunter 1 or 2 times just to see just to see how that goes. That's kind of what New Game Plus is for, right? Is trying new things, but in order to get all of the new branching dialogue, you kind of have to do the full main quest over again. Which is not bad. The main quest is outstanding. It's great. Not only just the full main quest, but I'm sure there's new dialogue options in all the main faction quests and everything too. I mean, knowing where the terramorphs come from and how to deal with them kind of should make that part of it trivial, right? You should just be able to say, okay, here's what you need to do. Here's what we're dealing with. Squash any heat leeches you see now, because you're gonna be screwed pretty soon. All right, so what are we doing now? Let's go acquire the power. This is kind of the chore that we have to do before we're gonna go get into some combat. So we're gonna do the power from beyond first, and then we'll go do the artifact, whatever one's closest. So Tau Ceti, 8B, which is probably the second moon on the 8th planet of the Tau Ceti system, and then there's an artifact right on Tau Ceti V right there, so we can do 2 birds, 1 stone. That's good. Did Vlad give us any money? No, that's fine. Tau Ceti it is. Which I believe is this guy right here. Yeah, I've been there enough. I don't really have any will to go do that quest again. It is an interesting quest, but if you're trying to blast New Game Plus, and you've already been through it once, it's easy to be like, I don't really want to do that again. So I do want to do kind of like a roleplay guide video on the morality of New Game Plus. I think that would be an interesting little discussion. What level are these? 30, not completely worthless, but a lot of these animals, so a lot of players like to hunt down these, the fauna on these planets, high level fauna, but they get really bullet spongy. You're gonna burn a lot of ammo getting through these guys for, you know, just a handful of halfway decent experience. There are much better ways to get experience in this game. Unless you're an actual hunter that has bonuses against fauna, I wouldn't recommend farming XP by doing this. It's too expensive in terms of ammo. And sometimes these guys hit hard too. So we're just following the distortions here. Usually, most planets are a little more barren than this, and you can see across the horizon a good distance. On this planet, it's not so much. Okay, I see it over there now. It's usually the only fairly significant structure that you can see on the landscape. But with all the trees and the mountains here, it made it hard to see, so I just had to follow my scanner the way you're supposed to. But once you know what you're looking for, it's pretty obvious where these powers are held. From what you told me, the Starborn ship gets expanded. It's not really expanded, it just gets a little stronger. It might do a little bit more damage, but in terms of the hull and shield strength, and like things like engine, and I think even grav drive distance, all that stuff gets upgraded up to, I want to say, new game plus 6 or 7. It doesn't go all the way to 10 like the armor does. But unless you're heavily specialized in piloting and starship design, the Starborn ships are by far the most powerful ones that you're going to have access to. Oh, and then this super fun. Okay, so the first 1 or 2 times that I did this, probably the first 1 time that I did this, it was amazing. And then after that, it's just like, I gotta do all this again. They should just give you the option after having done it like 5 times to just skip this whole song and dance routine, right? But no. It's like the Skyrim puzzle doors where you had to look on the dragon claw to see like the answer for what rings go where, but way more annoying because it takes so much longer than just looking at a claw in your inventory, right? Or memorizing all the different puzzle doors and what their answers are, which is possible in that game. Not possible in this game because the anomalies are all randomly placed. Okay, we're gonna see how this advanced Big Bang takes care of diplomacy attempt failed. Was that 5 shots? Not too bad. Didn't take any damage because of my reactive shield, or my star shield, or whatever the hell that's called. All right, let's head back to the ship. I do have 1 skill point to spend, but the only ones that I need for my build now are the particle beam systems, and I need to do more damage with that in order to rank up. So I might do a Mantis run at some point this stream, maybe, depending on how fast I get that unlocked, just to get the Razor Leaf that has the electro beams, the electron beams, the particle beams built into the ship at the very beginning. Okay, now we're going to Tau Ceti 5, I think, to get the artifact. There we go. This is what I'm looking for. Ultra Peachy Keen monsters. That sounds awesome. I don't think I've tried those yet. I do like trying the different flavors of monsters. My favorite so far are just the good old school low carb, the blue ones. Those are my favorites. But then you get the white ones at Costco for like $1 a can. So that's hard to, what the hell? Did I just get hit in the spaceship with a giant space potato? The hell is that thing? I don't know what the hell that was or where it came from, but all right. And I like the green ones, the one in the green can too. I don't know what flavor those are. Might be going for kiwi or something like that. Doesn't taste like kiwi, but I do like the taste of it. Costco used to have the variety pack that came with 3 different ones. I think there was like a pineapple gold one, and maybe the peach one was part of that. But those were all the zero sugar ones. And I do really like the zero sugar monsters. Good. Clip. Yeah, I wish we could clip. YouTube doesn't have that yet, but I would imagine that they will add it at some point. How you doing, Wind? Hope you are getting your weekend off to a good start. Oh, one thing I want to do before I go any farther is I want to make sure that my chat is on newest instead of top chat. YouTube's been pulling that shit on people lately. Pretty much the same thing. Okay, yeah, no, all right. Did not see N King's message there because of I was on top chat. Have you seen footage of Joseph Anderson's playthrough? I watched it yesterday. Oh no, I'm not even familiar with Joseph Anderson. Is he on Twitch or is he on YouTube? I'll look for it. I slept for 2 days straight before today. Ooh. You know, for somebody who's sleep deprived, that sounds kind of amazing, but for somebody who has been to the point where they couldn't get out of bed for 2 days, that kind of might sound hellish as well. Just the way you feel after being in bed for 2 days. Probably very dehydrated, full bladder, body's achy from not having moved. I went to visit the in-laws in northeastern Pennsylvania. This was a few years ago. I think this was before the It's funny now that, like, whenever you're thinking about something in your past, I'm always thinking about it like before the pandemic and after the pandemic. This was before the pandemic. We were there like in a February or something, and we were getting below zero temperatures, and it was snowing all the time, so we were pretty much locked in. There was nothing you could do except for, you know, sit on the couch and watch old TV shows with the in-laws, which is not bad in smaller doses, but when that's all you can do for like a whole week, you get like restless and antsy and achy and get sick of seeing the same 4 walls all the time. I could imagine it's the same thing, but on a smaller scale, a more narrow scope when you're in bed for so long. He's on both. Makes extremely long reviews of games on YouTube and then live streams on Twitch. Okay. Yeah, that's probably why I haven't seen him, because if I see a review that's like 2 hours long, I'm like, I don't. It's probably guy's probably gonna shit on the game for 2 hours. And I really like this game. I have probably a lower tolerance than I should for people just, you know, completely crapping on the game for an entire video. But I'm well aware of the shortcomings of this game, right? But it's just like all Bethesda games. I was on Laughing Simon's Discord, we were talking about it, and he was loving this game too. And we're talking about how Bethesda games in general are like 7 out of 10 games that you enjoy like a 10 out of 10 games. And I think that summed it up pretty much almost perfectly. I think on a technical level and on just a amount of stuff that this game gives you for the money that you paid for it, this is the best release Bethesda's ever had. And I think that their player counts and their sales on this game, even though it's a day one Game Pass game, this is their best-selling game as an Xbox exclusive. With Game Pass, this is the best selling game ever. and that's very impressive to me. Their player counts have been dwindling, but that's every single game ever released. And it has been getting review bombed, but you know what? If people don't like the game, that's cool. I don't need to hear about you complaining about it for 2 hours. I appreciate the game a lot. This is my new EVE Online. I played EVE back in the day, but could not land on planets, and it drove me crazy, and now we can. Even though we are not online with other players in the same world, I use my imagination that we're playing with others, and it satisfies me. Yeah, I'm actually glad it's not online. The online thing kind of ruined Fallout 76 for me, you know, among other things. Just there not being anything to do in Fallout 76 was a very big thing because there were no NPCs. They fixed that later. But just having that online-y feel, it's a little bit slippery, especially in terms of input response, things like just looting in the game. Enemy spawns were kind of very MMO-y, which set me off. I tried to play Fallout 76 2 times for 10 hours apiece, and it's not for me. So I'm glad it's not online. Oh, crap. But someone coming from EVE Online, I could definitely see how, yeah, you might be missing that inner player interaction. It would be cool if you could randomly run into people out in the universe. Kind of No Man's Sky does the same thing, but its universe is even more expansive than Starfield's. So like running, from what I've heard, I haven't played it. I do have it in my backlog. But running into somebody in that game is like exceedingly rare, even though that game's always online. And I have really enjoyed Diablo 4 this year. It's another game that gets crapped on all the time, but I really love it. And that game's online all the time, and you do run into random players a lot, but you don't really have to interact with them. I play video games as a sort of like a me time type thing. Okay, now sometimes there is another Starborn Guardian over here. I think we're free on this one. Usually it's the second or third or fourth artifact that you get are the ones that start being... Really? I didn't sell off my cutter, did I? Oh no, it's there. It was stuck. I always try to get a few pieces of the Calamite before I move on. It's a very rare resource, and some high-level upgrades for your gear require it, so I always like to have at least a few on hand. I mean, if I like it, it's good. Everyone else's opinions are no. That's really it, right? I don't need to pay heed to anyone who complains about games anymore. Yes, that's the way. It's the quote unquote hot take for popular games that on YouTube and stuff, of people just hating on games. It's like, it's not even a hot take anymore. That's what most video games, or most videos for most games are on YouTube now. It's hard. Okay, so you try to get like an objective review of games before they go out, and there are a few outlets for that. There are independent reviewers that do a good job. I really like ACG's reviews. I tend to agree with him on more games than I don't, and his reviews are always well thought out. He's well spoken. And his videos are engaging. His communication style is engaging. I like the dude. He's cool. Skill Up is another one. I don't agree with most of his reviews, but his reviews are always very well thought out, and they're fair, at least, right? They're objective for the most part, but no review is ever going to be completely objective. But now there's this whole sect of YouTube that it's like their whole job just to crap on games, and they get so many views. It's ridiculous. It's so popular. I know why they do it. I don't even think they really hate the game. I think they just putting out hot take videos because that's what sells tickets, you know? That's what gets the views. Sad. Like, there's no way Starfield is like a 5 out of 10 game, right? Like, no way. This game is amazing. It's really, really good. On an objective level, this game looks great. It doesn't have the ray tracing, right? It doesn't have DLSS yet. That's coming. But its global illumination system is really good. You get real-time shadows. The particle effects look really nice. You got the God rays, the Todd rays. I mean, look at this. This is awesome. It's a barren landscape, and it looks amazing. It looks beautiful. In fact, let's do this. And then we will mess with the field of view is fine. I'm going to turn depth of field on. Boom shakalaka. Yeah, BGS does landscapes right. They do landscapes, vistas, horizons. It looks amazing. I have to tell them to get the fuck off my lawn. Worth a buy. Sometimes you wonder if he's getting paid to dislike a video game. Well, indirectly he is. Even if, you know, there's not like rival video game studios or something paying him off to give games bad reviews. The YouTube algorithm and the YouTube AdSense system is paying him because he's getting a lot of views, which means YouTubes are getting a lot of ads, making a lot of ad revenue, and they're giving him a cut. So that's exactly what's going on there. Even if it's not like with malicious intent, even if it's not collusion with rival game companies, he's still getting paid to dislike games, and that's where a lot of this stuff is coming from. I have played one game I disliked all year, and I played a lot of games. There's only one that I didn't like, and that was Jedi Survivor, and that was because it was just in technical shambles. As much as people crap on this game for, you know, performance and loading screens and everything, this runs 100 million thousand times better than Jedi Survivor does on PC. I might go back and play it on my PS5, but it doesn't look like I think it's Respawn, whoever's doing the development on the PC version of the game. They don't seem interested in fixing it at all because they just haven't fixed it. They put out a lot of patches. It doesn't fix the issues. And the game itself was great. I loved Jedi Outcast. Jedi Survivor seemed like a great game. I couldn't play it anymore because of the shader compilation stutters. Doesn't so much matter to me when someone dislikes a game that is good. In fact, I feel bad for them. Waste of time, people. Here, we all know the truth about Starfield. Indeed. And it's okay not to like the game. It does make people who enjoy the game feel bad when you're... that's all they see on YouTube is people just crapping all over the game, right? Okay, how am I doing on money now? Didn't get much in the way of loot out of that cave. Still very low on credits. You know what I should do? Okay, on our way to the next one, I should stop at New Atlantis. Yeah, we'll stop at New Atlantis. We'll go do the Ptolemy thing in a minute. We'll get the next thing of power from Vladimir. And then I'll hit up the mission boards and see if we can get some bounties. That's a nice ship. Don't have it yet. Yeah, this is a New Game Plus ship. It's a Starborn Guardian 4, I believe.
Unidentified classified vessel. You have no faction markings or registered.
You should build outposts to
manufacturers.
start. Yeah, so I am not a big fan of that. I mean, I may have to do it at some point. I was thinking about it, and that whole XP farm system that you do with the outposts. I don't think it's exploity. It's using the game systems that are given to you, right? And it's not really any different than planting highly lucrative crops at like a hearthfire house in Skyrim, and I do that shit all the time. I take advantage of that crap all the time. It's just so dry and boring. I don't want to do it. But the passive experience and income is definitely a plus that you can't ignore. So I might have to look into doing that. Major Slack did start his Starfield walkthroughs, which is awesome, and he is definitely using that tactic, that strategy.
From beyond. Even for an old Crimson
My friend who
Fleet,
plays this too,
that's a
OPs
no-one.
aren't his thing also. Can't like all features. I don't mind the outpost. I did actually spend hundreds of hours in the outpost building, or the settlement building in Fallout 4, so I am looking into diving into it. I just haven't gotten there yet. Just using it to... I don't know. So I've been attacking this build
I'd go into the astronomical
as like
chart
a
data
character-centric thing, right? It's like I
clear
want
as
to...
day, just to point you right to it.
I'm trying to define a play style for this character and then get the skills and the equipment and stuff built around that to help strengthen and enable that play style, right? And outpost building really isn't part of that. So it's just, it hasn't been in my head, and I've been in the mindset of how do I want this character to play instead of what am I going to build on what planets, right? So in the current mindset that I'm in, the outpost stuff seems tedious because I've been focused on how is this character going to play. But I am going to need to start getting more into outpost building and ship building just for certain things that I want to do to make this build more complete. You decide your own world here. Yeah, and it gives you a sandbox just like any other BGS game. That's what we're in it for. To tell our own stories. Make our own way, you know. So I can pick up a... Wow, look at that. I love this game. Yeah, I posted this in Magus's Discord. That's a gas giant right there. I had to document a gas giant for science. That's where that screenshot came from.
A diplomatic visa?
Not a fountain of the... Yeah, it's not for everybody, right? It's more of like a Minecraft mode, I think, than it is a play your character mode. But there's a lot of fun to be had there, and it can get very, very addictive. Destroy the Crimson Fleet. I don't know if I want to take that on. Maybe we'll do a survey here too. That can get a little tedious, but at least it's easy money. The ship combat stuff, I'm not sure I want to take on just yet because that means I have to... All right, so I could probably take care of these guys no problem with the Starborn Guardian ship that I have right now. The reason why I'm hesitant with this is because I really want to get the Mantis first, the Razor Leaf, because that has the particle beam weapons on it that I need to start leveling up in order to finish this build off. But you know what the hell? We'll take them anyway because we're going to need them eventually. May as well just have them in the journal. It doesn't cost us anything. Oh, this is for... That's not actually going to give us a bounty to do. It's for clearing bounties. So, are you the good Samaritan, the evil backstabbing badass, or a little bit of both, angel and a demon, or undecided so far? So that's actually interesting with this one. So, like my Skyrim builds that are on my channel, I always try to consider roleplay as part of the build, right? And roleplay is a very subjective thing that changes from playthrough to playthrough based on what the game gives you. But I try to always give some guidelines and some just like a basic framework. And for this guy, he started off human, and he was a cyberneticist, right? So he's like, he's really into the melding of technology and the human body. So he's been doing that a lot to himself. And over the course of, you know, the playthrough of all the new game pluses and everything, as he starts adding more technology to himself, he starts losing more and more of his humanity and becoming more of a machine. So he starts off as a good guy, a classic good guy, right, with a conscience and everything. And while he still has the same alignment as far as good and evil, he starts to be less personable and start seeing the more cold, hard truth of the big picture and less of the small little pieces of heartfelt morality here and there and in between. So instead of, like, if there's a choice between keeping a system going for another few years or saving a puppy who's about to die, he's going to go after the system, no second thought about it. Whereas a lot of us, we would see that puppy that needed help, and in the moment, we're not going to be able to help but save that puppy, right? That's part of his humanity that he loses as he progresses levels. And then around New Game Plus 10 or whatever, when you decide to, like, okay, this is where this is the universe I'm gonna call home, and now I'm gonna start working toward a permanent place in this universe with outposts, with an awesome ship, with all the legendary gear that you've been chasing. Then he starts regrowing his humanity back and starts making decisions, maybe more so based on that micro morality as opposed to the macro morality. But overall, he's always good. He hasn't really done anything overtly evil. Just kind of cold, right? Depends on your definition of good. Yeah, there's plenty of shades of gray in this game. Not a ton, like there are in other games. It's on a scale, right? That shades of gray thing can get annoying if there are just never any good answers and it's never clear. There's got to be a certain amount of, okay, this is the good guy answer, this is the bad guy answer. If a game is always shades of gray on every single decision that you ever make, it just kind of feels like you have an extreme lack of faculty or control over anything in your game, your playthrough, which is not why a lot of us play video games, right? We like to escape into a world where everything kind of makes sense and that we know what's going to happen and it's comfortable and it's less stressful. At least that's how I think of it. My favorite side mission so far, guys, is Mantis. If you haven't done it yet, play it. Yeah, I might do a Mantis run, just for pure gameplay. I've done it several times, and it's awesome. But also for a new Game Plus run, the Mantis is an extremely stable set of legendary gear and an awesome ship, the Razor Leaf. Appreciate how you don't fast travel everywhere. It makes the story... Oh, yeah, sure. I mean, I've actually started losing patience for the different takeoff sequences and stuff, but I stuck with it for a really long time. Wondering if a New Game Plus 4, it's like you're at the point where, okay, I've seen everything, I'm just trying to get through it as fast as possible. And then I think for me at New Game Plus, where the difficulty finally caps off, and you're not getting any more Starborn gear, that's when I'm going to stop and slow back down and then do a full story playthrough with the full roleplay and everything. But yeah, I generally try to avoid fast travel, even in Skyrim and stuff when I stream that, which I might be getting back to next week. I'm wondering if his modified Starborn body might start regrowing parts and pushing his cybernetics out. Yeah, that's interesting. For when you step through the Unity, I think it's debatable whether or not it changes. I think everything changes and resets except for the player character. But in terms of like Aquinas, who is the hunter, he has definitely changed. And I don't know if that's just from living so long and experiencing so many universes that that's just what happens to a person. They lose touch with reality, and they don't care about shit anymore. But also the emissary, depending on who that is, that changes every New Game Plus as well. Sometimes it's Sarah, sometimes it's Sam, sometimes it's Barrett. I've had all three of them, and I think sometimes it could even be your own player character. But I haven't experienced that, but I don't see any reason why it wouldn't. They also seem, even though they're on the good side of things, alignment-wise, they kind of have seemed to lose some kind of connection to other people, right? They don't seem like they're all there. There's something missing with them, even though they're the good guys, quote unquote. There's something off, right? It's crazy. Find the artifact on Ptolemy. Yeah, let's do the Ptolemy stuff, and then we need to make money, that's for sure, so we'll probably start chasing the bounties after that. Hold on, let me move this Cyberneticist tag on my OBS screen up a little bit. This is kind of a reuse of my Skyrim layout here, and there's nothing down there in that Let's Play series, so that ought to work, I think. Yeah, that looks better. Okay. Chasing down the artifacts, eventually you'll start running into spacers and pirates. And at that point, that's when you unlock the Mantis quest line and you can go chase that, get some better gear. I really want the razor leaf so that I can start leveling up particle beam weapons. Oh yeah, this is a spacer hideout. Low-level spacers too. So we should be able to just destroy these guys. Okay. Pacification didn't last long there, did it? Let's let that star power. There we go. Who's next? Oh, I see you over there. I hear you, but I don't see you. Where are you hiding? Did she go inside? Oh, there she is. Hey, Gale. Welcome, welcome. Okay. Okay, that was a pretty decent fight. Very hard difficulty, new game +4, still handling it well. I am missing the range of my Orion a little bit, but the Big Bang is powerful. Doesn't use up as much ammo. Probably wasn't as efficient with it as I could have been, but we're still good. Is there a difference between particle beams and electro? Yes, there is. The EM stuff is, it stuns, and I think that that is boosted by a different bucket, if you will, in the perks. The particle beam stuff does benefit, at least the energy portion of it. It does benefit from the laser weapon specialty. So you can see how my energy rating is way higher than the physical is. That's from my laser certification. So particle beam weapons are good for either laser specialists or ballistic specialists. You'll only get the boost to the one of them. If you have laser certification and ballistics, and particle beams, you're gonna be a wrecking ball. That's gonna be nuts. But yeah, one or the other, depending. In terms of, you know, efficacy and efficiency of skill points, you probably want to do one or the other in terms of ballistics or energy weapons. And then at least you'll get the benefits to all ballistic weapons and particle beam weapons, or all energy laser weapons and all particle beam weapons. I don't think I would recommend going into specializing in particle beam weapons, because they can be very hard to find. If you're high level already and you're looking for perks or skills to put your points into that are burning a hole in your pocket, and you want to be a very specialized particle beam weapon build, then by all means, it'll be very, very strong, but you'll have to spend a lot of perks to get there. I have to keep this in mind for next time. Instead of fighting all the spacers at once and all the turrets, I could just pop my reactive shield, run all the way in here immediately, and just I can hack the turrets to fight for me. A little more of a cyberneticist-y thing to do. I'm usually on the good side of things, Exosus. I do like to play evil characters just to, you know, hit that side of things every once in a while. You can expand your experiences in the game by making your character do things that you're normally uncomfortable with. Pushing yourself out of your comfort zone can be a great way to have new experiences in the game. But I gravitate toward the good side. If you want an evil playthrough, Magus is your guy. Magus loves an evil playthrough. Or at least a dark playthrough. At the very least, he's towing the line. Vampirism and necromancy and stuff. Trauma packs are nice. Not gonna use the CQB but I can sell it off for a good amount. Useless ammo that I can sell, and a med pack that is not useless. Binoculars, pack of cigarettes, no thank you. Alright, let's get underground, start finding some artifacts. Have I looted this guy yet? Oh, there's another guy out there too. Spacer Communication 2. Looking for the secret outpost communication. Unlucky for you, you found one. There's the secret outpost. That will start the Mantis quest. There you go.
Yeah. Figured it was nothing.
Who said that? Are you down there?
You're going down.
Oh, am I? Kinda looks like you went down. And then he went up. And then he went back down again. This guy's on a roller coaster ride of gravity here, isn't he? Man, the ragdolling in this game with like the different gravity levels and stuff is just epic. Always makes me chuckle. Space necromancy, yeah. I feel like Magus was on the fence about this game until he realized there was necromancy involved, and then he was like, yeah, this game rocks. No, he's played a lot of characters that aren't necromancers at all, but he does love a necromancer. Let me catch up on chat here. So far, I'm a Shades of Grey character leaning toward good. I do plan a darker character at some point. Nice. Yeah, I still have to do the Crimson Fleet side of things. I think the capacity for just being a really dark, evil character in this game is kind of limited, which I think disappointed some people. I think the darkest you can go on an official level is probably just Crimson Fleet. It would be cool if at some point you could like join the Varun and really dive into that aspect of it. That would be awesome. Not sure we're gonna get that, but maybe in an expansion at some point that would be really awesome. No Dark Sith Lord. Andresia is awesome. Definitely one of the more rounded out characters. Her and Barrett. Barrett I like a lot. He's funny. I don't think I've ever played an evil character in any games. Yeah. That was me for a long time. And then I started watching Couch Warrior stuff on how to get more into the game, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go all the way in on a dark character. And it was actually pretty fun. But I can't just play like an all the way evil dark character. There's always some kind of something that connects him to his humanity somewhere. There's some reason why he's doing things that that makes it at least understandable for other people. Hey, Grumpy Kitty, welcome, welcome. Good to see you again. Is there an Easter egg in this game? Spoiler free on New Game Plus. Choose the character. Oh, there is an Easter egg in this game. Yeah, I dropped the spoiler-free tag a while ago, so if you want to spoil anything, go ahead. I think most of us has been through most of this game already. These are spoiler casts at this point because I'm on New Game Plus 4, and I can't guarantee that we're not going to see anything spoilery, right? The fact that I'm flying around a Starborn ship and in Starborn armor is kind of a major story spoiler in its own, so it's just, wow, I just was not paying attention at all. I didn't even pop the reactive shield. Yeah, New Game Plus, it gets pretty hard. It's not a walk in the park like the first playthrough. range on this is tough. He's got a bridger or something. Stay off the ground. How long does it take to reload your damn gun there, Cyberneticist? Yeah, against explosive weapons, you want to get up and off the ground because that splash damage is crazy. At least, what the hell, if you're up in the air, you're not going to get the splash damage from an explosive off the ground. Just being able to hover in the air gives you such a tactical advantage in so many different ways. It does make you more of a target, which is why that reactive shield is important. Lots of good loot here. We can finally upgrade this weapon once we get back to New Atlantis. Sell that for a decent amount. Yeah, no, definitely Exosis. That's what everybody's been experiencing. It's not just you. You can have a completely busted, scuffed build that is completely inefficient, and you're still gonna be on a cakewalk through the game on very hard. It really doesn't get hard until, in my experience, it's still not hard for me. If I remember to pop that shield, I can actually survive these encounters, even though my character is very physically frail. Yeah, I have no points in anything physical. So fitness, wellness, pain tolerance, none of that. All the defense that I'm getting is from my armor. And the Starborn stuff you cannot upgrade. But all the other stuff in the game you can. So that's important. The crafting skills for this build is very important in terms of damage resistance and things like that. But also the reactive shield Starborn ability is very important, because that's where most of the damage reduction is coming from. He's also topped off in medicine in the science tree here. So just, you know, chugging med packs is is a viable tactic. Oh my god, I only have one digipick. I gotta make this count. Well, let's give it a shot. There we go. Oh, and it's all contraband. No, this character is not an outlaw. You can make a lot of money doing that. Actually, the smuggler playstyle seems like it would be really fun. I want to do a smuggler playthrough at some point in the not too distant future. Just the tension between, you know, are they going to catch you with a contraband or aren't they? And it's kind of like pickpocketing in Skyrim vanilla anyway, where regardless of how much you like update the skill and everything, there's still like a small chance that you're gonna get caught. I'm actually not sure if you can level yourself up and get to a point where you're completely undetectable with the contraband that you have on your ship through both perks and upgrading your ship to suppress the whatever their detection mechanism is. But it will at least take some time to get to that point. Oh, hey James, welcome. Okay, see you, Exorcist. Have a good time. A reason besides he's a psychopath. Cool spacesuit. Yeah, thanks. This is a new game +4 spacesuit that you get. It's very shiny, very cool looking. I like it a lot. Might use it through the whole. I don't have any digipicks. Woe is me. I blew my digipick on that contraband thing that was useless. I'm good, but tallest coaster, 236 feet, called Hyperia. Feel that the company built it too quickly, huh? Yeah, that's not something you want to hear before you're getting on one of those big ass roller coasters. Is that no Starborn here? Nothing. Is that they put it up in 3 days? I love roller coasters too, but the ones at fairs, like state fairs and stuff, are they're a little sketchy sometimes. Feel more comfortable on the ones at the more permanent theme parks, Six Flags and Disney and all that. Okay, so there's another artifact, and I think we have some decent loot that we can go back to New Atlantis and sell now anyway. Did Vladimir give us another power that we could go chase too? If we could do that, then we'll do that on the way back. Power from Beyond, Tau Ceti 3. It's fairly close to New Atlantis. Let's do that one. Should be completed by May, and amusement park called Thorpe Park. Oh, nice. Excuse me, coughed right in your face there. Back to Tau Ceti. Okay. Low-level Crimson Fleet, the Guardians should be able to destroy these guys. Thrusting right now, which means I can't block. Yeah, still not doing a ton of damage because the Starborn weaponry, I don't think it matches up with any
And it's over. Unknown vessel, please respond.
with any of the
Both
skills.
Crimson Fleet goons never stood a chance. Not everyone would have stuck their necks out for a patrol. Thanks. Any way we can repay you?
I'll take some ship parts.
Done. We gotta resume our patrol. Stay safe.
Nice. Now I think there was another one at least. Yep, there's one right there. No, that's the neodymium. Where's the other one? Yeah, nothing I need. For crafting, sure, but not there yet. Okay, let's land this thing, and then I gotta go get a snack IRL. So I'll take a couple minute break once we get down there. Okay, where is the temple? That is the temple right there. Okay. All right, I'm gonna take a quick break. Shouldn't be more than a couple minutes, and I'll be right back. I just gotta get a little snack in my belly. All right, I'm back. Got a little protein bar. Got some more caffeine. Refreshed my water. All right. Let's go get this Starborn ability. Oh, another huge negative about the Starborn ships. They don't have beds on them. There's no furniture there whatsoever. So whereas pretty much every other ship where you can rest in a bed to help heal your status effects and your health bar, you don't have anything like that in the Starborn ship. At least not that I've found. And there's no way to like add it either. Other news? Yeah, I just got my vaccines last week, James. I did the yearly cold and flu one, and now the yearly COVID one. That's a funny story, actually. My wife and I went to go get them together, and she went in first. Everything was fine. They hurt a little more than we remember, but whatever. They put the one syringe in my arm. When they pulled it out, it just started gushing blood everywhere. Blood was just squirting out of my arm, like onto the floor. The poor pharmacist who was administering it was desperately trying to wipe up all the blood. I've never had that happen before. Glad I wasn't. I'm not like averse to like needles or blood or anything, because I probably would have just ended up in a pile on the floor, like my fluids. But yeah, I got it all last week. I was a little sleepy the next day. But other than that, like none of the side effects ever get me. I did actually have COVID last year, I think. But I'm fully vaccinated and everything. I'm protected against it, and the symptoms for me were very minor. It was I've had allergies worse, so I feel like the vaccines are doing something. And only having had it once, I feel like it says something about the immunity too. People all around me are getting it. And if it helps protect the people around me, I'm happy to do that. But yeah, it left a pretty good bruise in my arm. It was sore for a couple days, but it goes away pretty quickly. Wow, I'm down to 32 rounds of this gun here. Really need to make it back to New Atlantis. 32 is probably plenty to get me through. I think I only went through maybe 20 in that whole spacer outpost that we just cleared out. But we're gonna need more than that. Yeah, so the yearly shots were a bloody mess for me, but at least it was keeping in with the Halloween theme, right? The horror theme. And the vaccine's probably more important. I won't tell you how long I struggled last night to hit those anomalies. Oh, it's a pain in the ass, isn't it? There is a mod out there that gets rid of them, so that you don't have to do it. And that may be one that I consider getting, but I'm kind of trying to refrain from mods until after they release like the DLC and stuff, and they still say they're gonna patch in DLSS, which would be very nice. And I think they have some more bug fixes and stuff planned before too long. Sounds like an interesting day, and am I high risk? I don't think I'm high risk. I work from home, so I'm not out there a lot. I'm 43 years old. I'm fit. I may not look it, but I do go to the gym at least 3 or 4 times a day. I'm in good shape. And I have had COVID with the vaccines and everything, so I was protected, but I have had it before, and it hasn't really affected me much. But I would think it's important with, like, if you work around people, it's probably more important at that point. especially like for carnivals and stuff where you're around a lot of people a lot. Three to 4 times a day, 3 to 4 3 to 4 times a week. No, not a day. On a good day I might work out 2 times a day. In my jiu-jitsu days I was doing that, but no. God no, I did mean a week. Oh, you meant yourself? Okay. Yeah, I'm actually pretty remarkably healthy, I think. Trying to think of any. Oh, I do have a gallstone that bothers me every once in a while. I do need to get the gallbladder replaced, and that's a surgery I've been putting off for a while. But other than that, all good. Let's see here. Where am I going? New Atlantis. I gotta sell off some loot. I gotta upgrade my big bang. Replaced or removed? Usual method is remove. Oh, remove. Did I say replacement? Gallbladder replaced? No. I'm not getting somebody else's gallbladder. I am really jacking up my my words today, aren't I? My God. Why are you guys even still here? I'm just spewing nonsense. No, definitely need the gallbladder removed, not replaced.
If it belongs on your ship, if you don't see what
It's a
you
stony
want,
mess
feel free to ask.
in there.
Oh, please, take a look.
Just gibbering a bunch of gibberish. This is all the crap I just gave her. Ammo, do you have any heavy particle fuse? Yes, you do. I kinda... She has 0 credits, but I have credits. There we go. How about that? Now I can sell some shit back to her.
Oh, please, take a look.
Let's see. Got the ammo. That was good. All right, we're gonna save the rest of the money for upgrades.
Thanks for shopping at Jemison Mercantile.
Is there anything else I can sell? I could sell ammo. Let's sell off some ammo to get more money here.
There is a bit more in the back. Oh, please, take a look.
All kinds of ammo. Oh, was I selling all that off for 0? I think I was selling a lot of that off for 0. Let's start over, shall we?
Thanks for coming in.
I'm gonna go get my gallbladder replaced real quick. Oh my God, it really didn't. All right, whatever. It's not worth the credits. Just keep going. All right, let's head to the lodge and start upgrading this gun. Ooh, there's that gas giant I was telling you guys about. Fully charged that thing in my first playthrough. Ah, comic genius. $5 because words are hard. Thank you, Wint. You're too kind. Now, did you replace $5 or remove $5? Oh, terrible. Thank you very much. I appreciate you. You're the best. Okay, do we want the extended barrel or the long barrel? The extended barrel is more advanced. Better accuracy. Get half a cup of coffee with that? Yeah, these days for sure. Okay. All this stuff is widely available and cheap, so 1 each of iron, nickel, and sealant. Sounds about right for Starbucks, yep. I'm gonna do myself a favor and stay away from the pumpkin spice stuff this time. It would be nice if they put you a little closer to Jemison Mercantile, because that's usually what I use this fast travel point for, but I know they're trying to just get you closer to your ship. The problem is, you can fast travel directly to your ship from anywhere, so why do you need a fast travel point that close to your ship? I don't know.
Hope you're finding
Would
everything.
prefer it to be closer to the shops up here.
You're in the market.
If it belongs on your ship, then I'm sure we
I
have
can
it for
find
sale.
Something to suit your needs.
Yeah, no, pumpkin pie is the exception. I tried yeah, we had this conversation a few weeks ago. I tried a pumpkin spice frosty from Wendy's, and it was butt nasty. It was disgusting.
Oh, please, take a look.
I finished it because it's freaking ice cream, right? I'm not gonna throw away ice cream, but it was awful. It was absolutely terrible. And I'm a huge fan of pumpkin pie. I went just last week, a week ago Friday, I went and got one of those giant Costco pumpkin pies, and I ate the entire thing by myself. It was gone by Tuesday night, I think. It's pumpkin, and there's spices in it. There's nutmeg, and there's cinnamon. I think you could consider pumpkin pie pumpkin spice in some world. If you really want to get semantic and pedantic about it. I think pumpkin pie is pumpkin spice. But like what you're saying, the pumpkin spice flavor that you put in coffee is different. It does not go in ice cream. Super over-marketed piece of crap they sell to soccer moms. Why don't you tell us how you really feel about pumpkin spice, Magus? Okay, I might grab a couple chunks of iron here, maybe 3, just because I think I'm going to need it for other upgrades, so may as well just have it on hand. Not trying to get over encumbered here, and also not trying to spend a lot of credits because I don't have a lot to spend at this point, but that will change quickly. Credits are very, very easy to obtain in this game. Eventually you're going to look down and you're going to have 100,000 credits and you're not even going to realize where it came from.
Appreciate the business.
You could, but then you'd have to ban yourself. Yeah, against terms of service. Community guidelines. I've been a coffee flavored everything lately. Did you know there's an espresso martini? I had no idea, and it's good. Okay. Well, see, I don't drink and I don't like coffee, so it's probably not a thing for me. My wife does both. Maybe I'll ask her about that. I'm more of a soda energy drink guy, but I've been leaning on it too hard lately. Usually I know I've had too much when I start feeling anxious, and I don't have like general anxiety. I'm generally not a stressed person, but when I do start feeling anxiety, it's usually because I've been overdoing it on the energy drinks a little bit. I'm good now, but I'll do an energy drink soda detox every once in a while and just go back. At that point, I'll go to a matcha green tea, which I should have a glass of it every day anyway. It's just hard when you live in the hottest part of the world to have a hot drink. And the matcha green tea doesn't taste good cold, so. But now that the weather's cooling down a little bit, I should make it a part of my day because of the antioxidants and everything are just really good for you. I like flavor coffee, just not pumpkin. For the rehearsal dinner, we went to a place called Jack's, which I'm told has the best espresso martinis. Nice. Peppermint mocha, Italian cream, stuff from International Delight. Yeah. They have a lot of different stuff. I get my wife some coffee creamer every now and then at the store, and got a lot of options. Coffee ice cream with pecans and caramel. Now you're talking. I also really do like a coffee cake, a coffee crumb cake. Coffee ice cream, coffee cake is good, even though I don't like coffee generally. International Delight is the name of my indie band. Is that anything like Afternoon Delight? You just do it overseas? I would say if I had going fast food in America, Wendy's is because it's better quality and American pancake, but crepes. Yeah, so Wendy's is good. Wendy's is one of the better ones. McDonald's it gets crapped on a lot, but they do have higher standards than a lot of other fast food places in terms of how they have to prepare their meals and how they have to keep their equipment clean. I do like McDonald's a lot. Their sodas taste better. Like if I get a Dr. Pepper at McDonald's, it does taste better and cleaner than one that I get from like Burger King or, you know, Panda Express or wherever else I'm going. Their chicken nuggets are good. I like their chicken nuggets too. But sometimes you wanna switch it up a little bit, and Wendy's does have a mean burger for sure. Not gonna disagree with you on that one. Laser sight. Let's see. Now we want. That's our second mod, right? All right. These can be a little harder to find, though, not by much. The palladium and the vanadium can be kind of rare, but usually you just have to sleep in bed a couple times, and you'll find one around here eventually. Only need one of each, but I'll grab 2 or 3 if I can find it. Plain old black coffee, huh? I drank things at the wedding I never had before. Russian Mule, Lemon Drop, Espresso Martini. Did you generally enjoy them all? I think that's usually the case when you try new things that people like. Most of the time you like them, unless it's a pumpkin spice thing. Before I met my wife, I was on a lunch date with another girl, and we had lunch at, I think it was like California Pizza Kitchen or something, and we decided to walk around the strip mall. And we stopped at a Starbucks, and she wanted to get her pumpkin spice latte, so I was like, you know what, I haven't tried one in a long time, I'm gonna give it a shot. And I did. I took 2 sips of it, and I was trying real hard not to make a face because she was really enjoying hers, and then I tried to discreetly like throw it away when she threw hers away, but mine was still full, and when I dropped it in there, it was like the biggest, loudest, heaviest clunk ever. Oh, it was good times. I think it was very obvious that I hated the shit out of that drink, and I was just trying not to make her feel bad about her liking it. Okay. What am I looking for? Yes, I have them tagged. Adhesive, definitely. You know what? I'm gonna grab 5 of these because I'm gonna need more of them eventually. Adhesive is fairly widely used in a lot of these mods. And the vanadium and the 0 wire. So now we're just looking for palladium. I'll go ahead and grab 5 of these now because these can be rare and they're not expensive, so I can afford them. I'll go ahead and grab all the 0 wire. That's very widely used, as is the adhesive.
Thanks for shopping at Jemison Mercantile.
All right, let's head down into the well. Trade Authority might have some of the palladium we're looking for. If not, we'll go check the UC distribution center. And if they don't have it there, then we'll plop down, take a nap in the lodge for a good 48 hours. You did enjoy it. I don't normally drink at all, but these were good. I don't drink to excess, but I'll try things. Yeah, there's just nothing wrong with dabbling. The addiction gene goes really strong in my family, so I've just never given myself a chance to be addicted to anything that is gonna fuck me up or my life.
Suddenly, the shuttle runs late.
So I don't think there's anything wrong with people, you know, drinking a little bit here and there. But
it's like and
if you
walking
know
under
you got
ladders
that
with a
addiction
broken
gene and
mirror
you're
in my
going after it
pocket.
anyway, then that's
And the only time it
kind of on you.
happens is when I'm wearing your boots.
So, what do you want me to do about it?
I want a damn refund.
Fine, fine. I'll take the boots back. Just don't tell anyone you bought them from here. You ask me, the real New Atlantis is now
Moscow Mule means the name of cocktail? Yeah.
It's kind of sick.
Yeah, it's a popular one. People like that one.
I got contacts all over. Stock may not be so reliable, but I got ways.
Now you're no need to be embarrassed. Let's see here. Let's see what you got.
Absolutely.
You got any more heavy particle? I think I bought him out of his heavy particle stuff earlier, or maybe I didn't. Ah, there we go. 1,000, that should still leave me plenty of credits.
You need
Look
something
good.
else? I'll be here.
Let's keep our fingers crossed for some palladium at the Trade Authority here.
What?
I think we're good on Zero Wire, but you can find Zero Wire and some other electronic components here at the Apex store. His stock is usually really limited, which he mentions all the time, and a lot of other NPCs are saying he doesn't have much. I wonder why he's still in business.
has
But
access to goods and
you can't find
services
components
no one
there
else
if you need them.
does. No one. Welcome to the Trade Authority.
More
if you're
ammo
here on legitimate
indeed.
business, I would be more than happy to help you. If, however, you are here under
I need
false
more Digipics
pretense,
too, and you can get those
say,
at
sent by
Apex
one
Electronics.
Sang of UC Distribution, then I'm afraid you'll
Blah,
find
blah,
nothing
blah,
illegitimate here
yakety-schmackety.
to report to her. And I'd ask that you pass along my request to stop these silly games. So, what'll it be? Then my disclaimer
just
doesn't
shopping.
apply. And I hope we have what you need. Please, let me know if I can assist you further. You won't find a better selection or more reasonable prices anywhere.
2 resources, not looking good. Oh, speaking of spice, is this pumpkin spice? Looks like it. It's the right color. You want to put a little bit of this in your coffee, Magus? It'll be delicious. You know you wanna. Yeah, Magus is going to sprinkle some of this in his coffee right after he goes and puts on a pair of pants and pets a rabbit. Oh, Wind, I think Magus missed that whole conversation that we were having with MEE6 on his behalf. I don't think that he reacted to it at all. It's kind of a shame.
You know I went to chef school.
Let's see, Digipics. Grab some Digipics while we're here.
No, can't say I'll have what you need.
Yeah, I mean, when you stream for 70 hours in one day somehow, probably because of bending quantum physics like you do in Starfield, you can fit 70 hours into one day. You probably tend to miss people talking about you in your own Discord.
It's cliche, but it's true. Of course, of course.
Still good on credits.
The Trade Authority appreciates your visit.
How am I doing on medpacks? Medpacks are good. Medpacks I tend to pick up faster than I use. So far, anyway. That might change at higher New Game Plus levels, but we're good. Alright, now we go back to... the spaceport. And we'll hop on the tram. And we will head to the commercial district for the UC Distribution Center. Hopefully they have the vanadium we're looking for. Or the palladium. We got the vanadium. Vanadium? Yes, you do get every New Game Plus up to New Game Plus 10, you get new Starborn armor. This might be my favorite so far. I like how shiny it is. Looks like plate armor from Skyrim or something. I like it. Yeah, you get a new set of Starborn armor every New Game Plus with a new, fresh, random roll of legendary enhancements, legendary effects. And you also get a new upgraded ship up to New Game Plus 7, I think. 6 or 7. Don't remember off the top of my head. None of the Starborn stuff is going to be as good as the stuff that you can craft up if you have all of the right skills and perks and everything. And you get like advanced and superior equipment. Level that up with like your crafting skills.
Both items may require multiple levels of and can take up to
even the
several
best
weeks
Starborn armor isn't going to hold a candle to it.
Apologize for any delay.
But
Welcome to UC
until you get to that
now,
point,
before you say a word, I am required
it
to
will
inform
get
that
you
formal
probably through a
complaints
full
cannot be
New
filed
Game Plus
until the
run.
customer feedback system is back online. I have been told it'll be
I wonder
up
if
and running in
Starborn
2
armor
weeks,
is all
but
one piece because
you
they
know how
couldn't
these
figure
things
out how
are.
to
I
keep
am
it all
sorry
together
for any
otherwise. Like if New Game Plus kept giving random,
Also,
yeah.
if you're here about a corporate account,
I would imagine that's probably part of it, right?
Will be back on schedule
Like
soon.
the pack probably looks really weird on Starborn like suit and like other helmets. Like the Starborn helmet probably looks really weird on other pieces, and it's probably all kinds of clipping and everything. It's a lot more sleek, right? It's a lot more form-fitting and thin and less bulky than pretty much all the other spacesuits in the game. So it probably would just look really wacky otherwise. So yeah, maybe. Craftsmanship will be better if just for those nice legendaries, and the fact that Starborn is one piece, honestly garbage, and BGS dropped the ball there. Well, I think they wanted to give you reasons to not just use that all the time, right? It's viable. You can use it. I've done New Game Plus 3 all the way up to 3. Oh no, I'm sorry. New Game Plus 1, New Game Plus 2, all with the Starborn stuff. New Game Plus 3, I crafted up some advanced armor. And it was only maybe 10 or 20 points higher than the Starborn stuff that I had at the time. Now, once I start unlocking the superior higher level stuff, that's going to change. That comes with, you know, higher player level. You start unlocking more of that stuff in random loot. But it will get you through the first half of the New Game Plus absolutely fine. So it's a good stopgap while you piece together your stuff. And honestly, I think it's a waste of time for, you know, the 10 or 20 points of resistance that you're going to get with the new stuff. Maybe not a waste of time to chase all the legendaries, because you do get a lot more legendary effects on piecemeal gear. But for just in terms of straight up damage resistance from, you know, electromagnetic energy and ballistic resistances, it's hard to find something even so far as New Game Plus 3 that's going to match the Star. It's going to take a long time to put that stuff together, and it's not really worth chasing all of it if you're just going for a short New Game Plus run. But definitely, if you're going for a longer run, you're probably going to drop that Starborn stuff off pretty quickly if you are trying to keep like permanent armor, right? And you're not really looking forward to that New Game Plus run. Then yeah, absolutely, piece it together. It doesn't really even compare. Okay, looking for palladium. Tomato. Got vanadium. We already have that. We have no palladium. Nope. Okay, we got to go back to the lodge and take a very, very
You're
long
always
nap.
welcome back. If you don't.
Mods will take, oh yeah, mods will take care of everything. I'm just interested to see, because Bethesda has already kind of committed to more post-release support than they have in any other game, barring maybe Fallout 76, but that's a live service game, so that kind of has to be updated. Let me just verify that Palladium's the only one that I'm missing. So I'm kind of interested to see where the game lands through Bethesda's patches before I start throwing mods in there, but I would like to see more legendaries. I would like to see the loot tables be less stingy with the legendaries and the higher level gear. It might get there on New Game Plus 10 or maybe level 70 or something like that, but so far it's not been very impressive, the loot. So that's something I want to see them change. There's some other like quality of life things here and there too, like being able to upgrade the cutter and melee weapons. I want to see upgrades to those. And honestly, I would like to be able to upgrade the Starborn stuff too, because I think it looks cool as hell. If I could craft up the Starborn stuff, this would probably be my go-to armor. There are some armor sets in the game, obviously, that looks really cool, but right now for the Cyberneticist in particular, I'm really digging the Starborn stuff. It really fits the theme well for this build, I think. Yep, still just missing the Palladium, so let's go take a quick 48-hour cat nap. Legendary is the same system as Fallout. Not quite. It's a little different. Fallout 4, you needed to fight a legendary enemy in order to get a legendary item. In this game, you can find legendary items in other places. You can find them in containers. You can find them on non-legendary enemies, although it's more likely to find them on legendary enemies and boss enemies and stuff like that. Okay, so a full 24 local hours here is 50 hours universal time, and that's, you need 48 hours of universal time in order to reset vendor stocks. So doing a full 24 hours on Jemison, sleeping, and then you wake up and then all the vendors should be restocked. They should have more money that you can use to sell stuff to them. And yeah, their stock is refreshed, so they'll have new items in too. I imagine when your character sleeps, he's rebooting and updating his, yeah, right? Defragging his hard drive. Of course, I would hope that he has a solid state in there. Less that can go wrong. Mechanical hard drives used to fail all the time. Local versus UT confused me so much. Yeah, the vendors operate off of the UT time. So as long as you're hitting 48 hours in UT time, that's really all that matters to update the vendors' inventories. If you're trying to think of it from a roleplay perspective, like really try to make sense of like, am I sleeping? Am I experiencing 2 hours now, or am I experiencing 8 hours? What does it feel like to me? And a lot of that has to do with like the theory of relativity, and like the bigger planet you're on, the slower time seems to go, or the faster the planet's moving, the faster time seems to go. It gets really bizarre, and stuff that doesn't seem like it should make sense, but it has been like scientifically proven that it is in fact a thing. Yeah, if you want to feel stupid and confused, then yeah, look up quantum physics. Or the theory of relativity, and then you're gonna feel like you haven't even been living in the same world. It's nuts. It gets really crazy. It almost doesn't seem real, except that quantum computers are a thing, and they actually harness the power of quantum physics, which is basically you get so small or you get so cold that the laws of physics that we knew and lived by for so long, they just don't operate at that scale anymore. So you can have like one particle that exists in two different locations at one time. It's not a duplicate, it's the same particle. It's just, it's over here and it's over here. It's nutty. It's really nutty.
Please, take a look.
And it's all real because they've applied it to practical solutions for super, super fast computers. They're harnessing it.
Thanks for coming in.
It is crazy. Equal parts scary and exciting, I would say. I'm here for it. Let's see what happens. There's a pretty cool show called Devs. I think it's on Hulu, if you have Hulu. It kind of jumps into quantum computing and then being able to run predictive models and stuff. So companies that are rich enough to have like these superpowered quantum computers can run predictive models on reality, and they can start like predicting the future and stuff like that. It's really trippy. Let's see here. What we're doing? Oh yeah, upgrading a gun. Instead of talking about trippy things that actually happen in reality. Aluminum. Let's see, do I want the reflex sight? I probably want the reflex sight. That's 100 times better than the iron sights. Not in terms of any actual accuracy or range, but it does help the playability of it. So I need some chlorosilanes, and aluminum. Probably get a few of each of those to add to the toolbox. How are we doing on mass? Still good. Not cucumbered. They still haven't fixed sleep when features should be able 2 times speed. Oh yeah. I would appreciate if the sleep timing and the wait timing went faster too. Oh yeah, they gotta fix this bug. There's a couple of third-person view bugs that they have too. The one where the head gets stuck all the way over to the left like that. That's super annoying. That looks gross. And the scope one. I don't think it happens with a gun that doesn't have a scope, but if you play third person and you are playing a gun with a scope, every once in a while it'll just zoom in behind you instead of in front of you, and it can lead to some deaths at higher difficulty levels for sure.
If you don't see, there's a bit more in the back. Oh, please, take a look.
Quantum computer and nano computer now even quicker than quantum. Yeah, the nano stuff. Well, if you can fit more circuitry into a smaller place, for sure. But they both kind of go hand in hand a little bit in my experience. Like the smaller you get something or the colder you get something, the more quantum it becomes. I know nanotechnology is a little bit different. Let's see, aluminum. Let's just do 5 of these because we're going to need some for the future. What else are we looking for here? Chlorosilanes. We're going to need some more of those as well too. So let's do 5. All right, that should get us our reflex sight.
Appreciate the business.
Appreciate your butt. So in terms of content for the channel, I think now's a pretty good time to talk about it since I'm just, you know, talking about quantum computing and metaphysics. Scorpion Guide is done. It is scheduled to come out tomorrow morning, so look out for that. That is a Skyrim build. I think I want to get back to the Steger for Let's Plays for the live stream stuff. He's kind of been on the shelf a little bit while I worked on the Scorpion build guide. That was like all my time in Skyrim, and then I've been wanting to do Starfield stuff. Really getting my head wrapped around how New Game Plus and everything works and how Buildcraft works in this game. I'm kind of at a point now where it's like I'm just doing the same thing over and over again with New Game Plus, so it's not as compelling. I would rather get back to a new character concept. The reformulated Steger, the shaman assassin. There's some good juice that I want to get into there. I need to spend more non-production time in Skyrim to kind of advance him past the point of just training and crafting right now, early game. Get over to your channel when Scorpion drops. Nice. Yeah, I'm actually really proud of the build, and I want to do some more content, put out some shorts and stuff for it to try to increase the reach of it. Get some more views on that bad boy, and maybe just some dungeon clears here and there, set to some like badass music and stuff. just to kind of promote the build a little bit more, because that was a level 50 build that was really challenging to fit everything that he needed to do into 50 levels in Ordinator. It's very condensed, but it works really well and it's a lot of fun. All right, do I want the double barrel? It's more accuracy and more range. Changes rounds fired to go through a 2-barrel attachment for different spread shots. Okay, yeah, definitely want this. More range, more accuracy from a double barrel weapon. That's and probably more spread too. That's amazing. Yeah, definitely want this. So polymer, ytterbium, titanium, and tungsten. I already have the adhesive, so I don't have to rebuy that stuff. So yeah, Scorpion build drops. The Steger stuff is what I'm going to be streaming until that build is done, and then he's probably going to take a hiatus while I do the production for the build guide for that guy. The Cyberneticist, the build is basically done. I need to get the particle weapon systems upgraded, and that's going to be everything I need for that build. And I do want to do some, like, a new game plus guide for Starfield, and just to talk about the general, like, discussion about how the end game works in Starfield, which I think will be an interesting discussion for people who are actually enjoying the game. Let's see here. Yes, back to the spaceport. Wow, they are really showing a lot of Sarah's butt on this on these loading screens here. It's almost like I took like 8 different pictures of it trying to make it look funny. I've taken some really amazing screenshots, and it's just really focused on those. Like 3 or 4 that I tried to take for just being a goofball. I like how Starfield is calling me out on stream. Good stuff.
Oh, please.
I just don't think I can make the gas giant joke that many times in one stream, right? Adhesive we're good on. That's the only thing we're good on. Polymer we need, and we're probably going to need that going forward too, so I'll take 5 of those. Keep an eye on the encumbrance here. Titanium I need. Encumbrance is still good. Tungsten I need. And ytterbium. Ytterbium. That might be everything I needed.
Shopping at Jemison Mercantile.
There might have been a component or something that I needed. Let's check. So yeah, I got some Starfield content rattling around in my head. I got some Skyrim content that is imminent. I want to do a guide on the old ways from Winter Sun. All the different animal totems and what they do for that. But I need to play the Steger more in order to get up to the level of favor and everything that it takes to become a devotee, so that I can cover everything there. So I'm not abandoning Skyrim content at all, even though I've been playing Cyberneticist on live stream a few weeks in a row here. It's just because the Steger hasn't been in a place where he's actually going to be entertaining or compelling to watch, when at least now I can go over new game plus stuff and like how I'm scouting higher level planets. Which, once I get this thing modded up, I think I'll be able to... Doesn't change the physical damage a little bit. Orlace's coat is cool. It gives you a chance to craft weapon mods without using resources. Nice. That is nice. It just makes the grind for resource gathering a little more convenient. I mean, once you get your endgame gear, you don't need resource gathering anymore, right? Unless you're doing like a trucker doing the delivery bounties or whatever. Ergonomic stock. We already have all the materials ready to go for that. Very nice. Oh, the Annihilator rounds, these things are badass. This is what takes the particle beam weapons like over the top. The Big Bang. There was another one that did, maybe the Varun weapons. Yeah, the Annihilator rounds, basically they, once they hit the enemy or ground or whatever, it becomes like a lingering area of effect where it just decimates anybody who stands in the cloud of these Annihilator rounds. Very, very cool, but you do need, they're a very rare mod to find in vendors and on enemies and stuff, and they do need probably the special projects perk along with rank 3 of your weapons crafting, weapons design. So let's go find, we need hyper catalyst, toxin, and lead. Wrong button. It's cool. Earlier and is UC gear. Oh, it's clothing. Okay, cool. Totally screwed that up yesterday and didn't get it. Oh. So it is missable. Those are the one that just like make your heart bleed. Just break your heart. Get a unique item like that that has a really cool effect and you just completely miss it. Can't go back. Unless you want to reload an old save, and by then it's probably out of the question.
If it belongs on your ship, hope you're finding everything. Oh, please, take...
What do we got? What do we got? What do we got? Resources. We have adhesive. Don't need any more of that yet. Hyper catalyst. She did have some. I'll grab some. This is rare. You can actually craft it, I think, at an industrial workbench if you have all ranks in the special project skill, I think. Which is that 4th tier. The lead? I think I have lead, but I'll grab a few just in case. Yeah, it's the 4th tier research skill in the science tree, I believe. You can't take him in. He commits suicide. I tried, but his hatch is sealed. Oh. I wonder if the unlock console command still works. Or if you could just maybe disable the hatch altogether or toggle clipping. Do I have everything I need now? I might. Scripted. Yeah, it would be cheaty and exploitive as AF if you're using console commands for it, but whatever. Trying to board his ship, but he kept dying in combat and accidentally blew his ship up. He didn't get the salvage. Yeah, that sucks. Okay, grip and stock we've already gotten. Magazine and battery, this is the big one. Yes, we do have enough for everything. Very nice, very nice. And we did need lead after all. I thought we already had it. Amplifier. For the fire rate that you get, I think amplifier is better. You get more of a damage boost than you do a fire rate boost. Not gonna bother doing the math on this, but I would almost be willing to bet that you get more of a damage boost from the actual direct damage boost than you do from just having the higher fire rate. This isn't like a fully automatic gun where fire rate actually makes that much of a difference anyway. Once you get this thing upgraded, you should be doing 1 or 2 shot kills anyway. So if you're spending more than 1 or 2 shots per enemy, you're probably just have bad aim like I have had earlier today. So I think I'm gonna go amplifier on this one. I need an isocentered magnet and tantalum. Almost at the end of this crafting run here. This is kind of a necessary evil for each new Game Plus run. Once you have a fully upgraded advanced weapon that actually fits your build, you can probably keep it for the rest of the run, unless you find a badass legendary or something just laying around, which I haven't often. There's too much of a spread of different items that you can get for legendaries, and they're rare enough that you don't really encounter them all the time anyway. Blew him up instead. Nice. Yeah, you need to be able to target focus on those specific components of the ship in order to disable it and dock.
Hope you're finding everything you need. Oh, please, take a look.
Okay, let's see here. 2 more. Tantalum and what was the other one? Isocentered magnet. No isocentered magnet here. Henrik might have one. There's the tantalum though. Let's take 3 of that. My encumbrance is getting up there a little bit.
Thanks for coming in.
And I think I can craft an isocentered magnet if I can't find one at a vendor here. So how's this current run going for you, Magus, with your cutter build? Is you seem to be happier with this one. No restart itis or anything yet?
Stocks, if you're a serious
in it for the long haul, so to speak?
You got it.
There's the isocentered magnet I was looking for. I'll grab 2 of these. Okay, that should be everything I need for the Annihilator rounds, which really sends this gun over the top. So far, it's the Big Bang and the Orion and the Varun rifle, which are my favorites for laser boys anyway. Wow, another picture of Sarah's ass. Thank you. She is really poured into those pants though, isn't she? It's impressive that the textures actually hold up that close in though. BGS really stepped up their texture game for this release. Gotta say, I'm impressed. You can get right up in on the walls, and the texture quality, well, that is diminished. It's pretty pixelated there, but even just like a few inches away from the wall, and looks good. Good looking textures are something that they haven't had in a game in a long time, if ever, really. The weapon models are also a big improvement over Fallout 4 and Fallout 76. In those games, the whole weapon model would take up like a half of the entire screen. They were just way too bulky. A lot like vanilla Skyrim, those weapons were just too like LARPy. They looked like they were made out of plastic. They were way too thick. In this game, they're much more realistic. They're more sleek. Something that you actually wouldn't mind wielding. Definitely a step in the right direction for BGS, in my opinion. Oh, wow. Is it almost 2 o'clock already? That is crazy. I'm almost at the end of my window here. I did want to show you guys. I kind of want to use my, maybe I'll go a little over. I don't really have much going on today other than the Diamondbacks game comes on at 5. If you're a baseball fan, Diamondbacks are having an incredible run. They were, they're a very young team. Nobody expected them to even make the playoffs this year, but now they're in the championship series. On the National League side, they have tied with the incumbent World Series championship team, the Phillies. They have tied the series up 2-2. So 2 more wins, we're in the World Series. Probably the most underrated team ever to make a World Series. So I feel like the entire sports world is rooting for the Diamondbacks right now, and I've been a Diamondbacks boy since day one. So I am super excited. I'm making sure I've been watching all of that. But now yard work is in a good place. Just got to clean up some dog poop out there, and I don't have to mow the lawn or anything. That's all good. So I think I can go a little over time, showing off how I'm doing these higher level planets here. So let's start with Leviathan. We can get there from Cheyenne. So let's go ahead and move over to, or we can get there from Nicola anyway. So you can't actually get into the system map until you've been there once. But once you're there, you can back out and you can see all these different planets. So now, these planets that don't have the ellipses, the ... on them, are really not going to have any points of interest or any landing spots that you can land on. They might have like natural points of interest, but what we're looking for are like landing spots, specifically things like outposts, civilian outposts. This would be fine. This means that there are humans on the planet, and then once you land at the civilian outpost, you can kind of, cruise around the world a little bit, doing your scanning and whatever. And there's a good chance that you're going to have a point of interest somewhere on the planet that is another human outpost that has spacers or pirates or human enemies on it. And that's important because we're looking for high-level planets, level 55 and up, that have human outposts on them that we can use to kill enemies for XP and also farm for high-level gear. Most of these barren planets, they could be level 70, level 80, but if all they have on them is like fauna, it's kind of a waste of time and ammo. You can kill the animals on that planet, and you'll get experience at a pretty good clip, but you're going to be blowing through ammo like nobody's business. And you're not going to get any gear from it. You'll get the experience, but you're not going to get the gear. If you go to a planet that has some kind of human outpost on it, this is a scanner anomaly, so this is not going to do it for us. But if you go to a planet that has some kind of human structure on it from the scanner, you don't even have to go to the planet. If you see these ... dots here, you can look at the planet from your map, and if it has some kind of human structure on it, then that's a planet worth checking out. Now this system is only level 40, so I'm not going to waste my time here. What I do want to go is I wanted to try the Leviathan, I think it was. Leviathan system. It was down around here somewhere, right? Antana. Then Ebola was a good one, I think, if I remember correctly. Damn it. Now I can't find it. Parima. Asada. That's the end game one. Oh, it's not going to be red anymore because that means I can actually get to it. So yeah, Leviathan is level 55. So let's check this one out. I can't actually get into the system map at all. I have to jump there first. But once I'm there, I don't have to go to all the planets looking for human outposts. I can see with the ellipses on the planet that there's more there. Already got ELFX? That's awesome. I actually don't think the lighting in this game is bad at all. I don't think it needs ELFX right now, but I might change my mind once I actually see it. I thought the lighting in Fallout 4 was actually pretty good too, but then ELFX came out for that and it like made a big difference. I was like, oh, okay. So maybe. Hey, Hybrid Avenger, welcome, welcome. Yeah, so this is a level 55 system, but it has no ellipses, so there are no points of interest. There's a very, very excellent high chance that there are no human structures anywhere in this system. I'm not seeing the ellipses anywhere on any of these planets or moons, so I am not going to waste my time on it. I'm going to go try another high-level planet, or another high-level system here. 45, not high enough. Sagan, 15, not high enough. 25, not high enough. Jaffa is 35, not high enough. 45. Crix is only level 20, and there's some high-level pirates there. I don't want to go there. Level 40, not high enough. 15. Ooh, level 70 for Celebrai. All right, let's go check that out. Hopefully there aren't any level 70 ships there, because they will shred the Starborn Guardian 4 even. How's it? It's good, man. My baseball team's doing good. My football team's getting their quarterback back. Kyler Murray's coming back. I'm excited about that. He should help out the team a little bit. Playing Starfield. Okay, so this one actually has a fracking station. This one has human stuff on it. This is good. This is really good. This is the only planet that has it. But this is how I'm going to start farming XP and high-level equipment once I get to the end game, new game plus that I want to kind of stay at, which is probably going to be new game 10 plus or 11, depending on where I want my Starborn powers at. So let's go to the fracking station. The civilian outpost is less interesting because that's not going to be a hostile environment. Although there might be hostile human outposts around. We have to search for it a little more. This fracking station might be hostile, it might not. But let's check this out. YouTube puts quality at 240p. Oh, gross. Yeah, I'm outputting at 1080, 30 frames per second, but it's not the greatest picture quality, especially at the bit rates that I can afford for my upload speeds. Upload speeds out here just suck butt. But I'm doing the best I can with what I got. It doesn't look too bad. It should look a lot better than 240p, regardless. Okay, there's a structure there. Is that the fracking station? Some life signs over there. More life signs over here. Let's go check out. That is the fracking station. Okay, there was a structure here. Okay, so the fracking station is only 400 meters away. This other structure is only 400 meters away. Let's go to the non-fracking station one. This one more likely has hostile enemy encounters on it. So if you're a very high level character and you're looking for XP and gear farms, legendary equipment farms, this is the way to do it. Go find a high level system, travel there, and then if you can find a planet that has human structures, which are going to be denoted by the ellipses on the planet, meaning they're going to be landable points of interest on it, go there and start checking out some of these structures. There's a good chance that it's going to be inhabited by... Oh, this is a really pretty planet. Look at how the... there's like an iridescent glow to these plants. Yeah, go to the structure. There's a fairly decent chance that there's going to be hostiles there of a very high level that will have... they'll give you both good XP for killing them and also yield good loot as well. Maybe some legendary stuff. It's a level 70 fauna there. I'm not about to waste my ammo on that guy. This is a deserted station. Maybe not any... Yep. Okay, here we go. That's a robot. That's a level 68 robot right there. Gave me 126 experience. That is a low-level enemy in a high-level area. That's not always going to be the case. That's a level 46 enemy right there. And he hurts. He hits hard. Where'd you go? Still down here? Where'd you go in here? Oh, yep, there he is. And those Annihilator rounds are going to melt his life bar, just like the flames. Flames stack on top. And then we got a legendary, not a legendary, that's an epic item. Advanced Deep Seeker Space Helmet, that's awesome. It's a regular inflictor, but I'll take it. Might be able to craft it up. Another high-level robot over there. if I can pacify this guy. Yep, was able to pacify the robot. That's good. These guys are hitting really hard because I don't have my reactive shield up here. Ooh, heavy particle fuse, yes please. Don't mind my aim. Yeah, mostly level 46 enemies here. That's great. Kind of chugging med packs here. Got a Varun Pain Blade there too. That's kind of a rare spawn. Especially if you're looking for a legendary one. Cover. And the harder difficulty levels, I'm playing on very hard, New Game Plus 4 right now. The more you go up in New Game Plus, the more damage the enemies are going to output and the less damage they're going to take. So it starts forcing you to be more tactical with your gameplay, which in my opinion makes it more fun because the game is too easy otherwise. New Game Plus is where the difficulty is at, so if you're thinking the game is too easy, you should probably run New Game Plus a few times. That's where the difficulty is. Let's get this guy into favorites here. Waiting for my star juice to refill so that I can get another reactive barrier up there. I don't want to go in there without I don't want to go in there without protection. Here we go. Yeah, well, I smell the stench of your butt, snaky bastard. Level 60 Zealot. Okay, this is the boss. Got another minion back in here. Another Pain Blade. Nice. Can I calm her? Guess not. Where you going? Wow, she was a tough cookie, huh? Sentinel's Varun spacesuit. There's a legendary. I don't think it's advanced. It doesn't give me anywhere near the protection that my Starborn armor is. But there are going to be more places like this on this planet. If you find a human outpost on a high-level planet, there's more than likely, there's a great chance that there's going to be high-level enemy outposts on the planet too. So end game, this is how you want to farm your XP and your equipment. If you want to actually play the game. Otherwise, you got to do the outpost stuff, which to me just doesn't seem fun at all. So the way that the outpost stuff works, I think Major Slack on his walkthrough is using that tactic. or the strategy as both a experience factory and as a money-making factory. Basically, you find a planet that has the raw resources in close proximity that you can create an outpost there and extract those resources from the surface of the planet all in one outpost. But it has to be a combination of resources that will create an item. So something like polymer or polytextile or something. Usually a building material that you can craft it at an industrial workbench. So you basically have an unlimited supply of the resources that it takes to make this thing X. And then you can go to that planet after waiting a while. All of your storage containers will be full of these resources, and then you just spam creating these components out of these resources that you farmed that will increase your XP indefinitely, and it will also give you components that you can sell back to a vendor for money, right? So it's basically like buying a Hearthfire property in Skyrim, populating the greenhouse with plants that will provide you the components to make these high value potions, and then you go back to a vendor and sell the potions for lots of money. It's almost exactly the same thing. It's the same idea. And I do often use that strategy in Skyrim, but for some reason I don't want to do it in Starfield. It seems a little cheap. Ooh, level 84. Are you kidding me? Yeah, high level bosses at New Game Plus 10 on very hard, you have to fight them tactically. That means running for cover whenever you reload your weapon. That means running for cover whenever you're out of your reactive barrier, because they will melt you a lot faster than you can melt them, depending on your build. If you have a broke-ass cutter build like Magus, then maybe maybe you can melt them faster, but they're gonna do a lot of damage to you. You can't just stand in front of them for very long. So if you're looking for the difficulty, this is where it's at. I'm just waiting for my star juice gauge to refill so I can get my reactive shield. Yeah. Ooh, that was a tense fight. And this is the Annihilator round. This is what that does. The little sparks that fly around. That actually causes a lot of damage over time to enemies who are standing in there. Sensor chipped advanced Varum space helmet. This might even be better than the Mantis. And it looks kind of cool too. It's not going to look cool on my naked body, but I got an epic one that's advanced, and a legendary one. Beast Hunter, negative 15% damage from alien enemies. So if you are actually farming fauna on high level planets, this would help you stay alive against them at least. The sensor chip is cool. 20% accuracy while firing on the move. That's good. Resources weigh 25% less. That's good for your crafting runs, or if you're a space long hauler. We also got a legendary. Yeah, so we got an epic, 2 legendaries, and some Varun gear, some high level Varun gear here. Not as good as the Big Bang that I have here, but yeah. Oh, and another legendary in the case too. Tesla Advanced Negotiator. That's a pretty premium piece of gear there. Let's see. Yeah, this is pretty badass. 337 physical damage, and I don't have anything spec'd into ballistic damage at all. This is badass. It does take those 40mm explosive rounds, which are rare. They're hard to find, but for high-level enemies and boss enemies and stuff, this would shred. This is good. Rounds will sometimes emit electricity where they land that damages targets and slows nearby targets. That's awesome. Poison randomly deals poison damage and slows the target. That's awesome. Disassembler, 20% damage against robots. Even more awesome. Yeah, that's awesome. How many times can I say awesome? So yeah, this is the process I'm going to use going forward for end game play. I'm not gonna go to the point where I'm actually seeking out these planets just yet. I need to get to New Game Plus 10, but can you imagine that guy on a New Game Plus 10? That would have been an even more epic battle. Heading out, going to watch Newcastle destroy Crystal Palace. Nice. Excellent. Have fun, James. Second regulator. Okay, well, that's my 3 hours, man. That flew by. That really flew by. Showing a lot of new game stuff, new game plus stuff to you guys, a lot of new mechanics, the crafting run that I do at the very beginning, and then how I'm going to farm XP and legendary gear going forward. So I actually showed off a lot of stuff. I hit all my goals that I wanted to do today. I think the only thing that I didn't do was the Mantis run. Which I'm sure we've all done at least once. But yeah, this is how sort of end game works in this game. If you have like a long long longevity character that you wanna stick with for a long time, this will give you a lot of pointers on how to attack that end game content. All right, guys, that's me. Thank you so much for joining. I had a lot of fun today, as I always do, but I'm glad you joined me because that makes it even more fun. Get to play some of my favorite games, plural now, with some of my favorite people. Just makes me a happy guy, happy Karn. So if you like this stuff, do check out the description below this video. There's a lot of other content creators that do similar things to me. A lot of them are over on chat, specifically Magus80, streaming this game all the time over on Twitch. His link is in the description below. The Wind has been streaming a little more regularly now that her progeny has finally gotten on the other side of his marriage there, so I think she's got a little more time on her hands, and I'll be glad to hang out with her a little more often now too. She streams Starfield right now, I think, and some variety stuff. I haven't seen her do the Skyrim stuff as much lately, but she does that too. Who else? Anybody else on here? I think those are the only two other. Oh yeah, Hybrid Avenger, I think, is over on Twitch too, so give him a follow. Yeah, okay, I think that's it from me, guys. Take care, have a good weekend. Have fun exploring the field of stars. See you soon, guys. Bye.